recorded, and today we're back in the woods. It's getting dark. It's almost twilight. New moon. Let's go. Yeah. We're here. We're back. Jenna is rocking her Twilight shirt.
Look at that.
Got all the heads, the floating heads on there.
It's all the vampires. Jacob isn't on here, sadly.
Oh, I'm so sorry that there's no Jacob on your shirt. But welcome back, Genevieve, in here. Man, we were back in October doing the last Twilight, and that was quite an experience.
All right.
So we gathered the same crew back again, plus a bonus guest, which we'll get to in just a second here. But we also have Nicole Frier, the voice. Hello. How are you?
Doing well. Medium well.
Medium well.
Yes, somewhere in there.
Just the way I like my steaks.
Right? Why not?
I don't know what that
Nicole has been texting me every week. Twilight this month. Twilight this month. Twilight this month.
Didn't realize I did it, but I probably was, sleep texting.
So the day's finally here. You can stop bothering me.
Oh, I feel better.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You're excited.
You're excited. Your husband was excited. He was also texting me saying, I can't wait to watch it with her. Right? So
that part's not true for sure.
No, that's for sure not true.
No.
You actually texted me that he was upset.
Yeah, well, not upset. He was sitting beside me watching it, and he stopped and he said, I am so sorry you have to pay attention to this. And I said, thank you. That's
classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the mad genius Joe Goratowski is in the house.
Yeah,
Welcome, sir.
I'm back again. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie, for not being on the first episode.
The now out of the closet Twilight fan.
Because I had to fill in for her last Twilight.
Got to fill in.
And now I'm stuck here again.
It was meant to be.
For 3 more. Maybe.
Yay.
We'll see. But we also have a very, very special guest over at the kids' table. Miss Lauren Madela is here.
Hello.
Yes, straight from the horror reel. Now talking about Twilight because, originally I think you were going to come on the last one, but I think you were sick.
Yeah.
But I know you. Tell me a little bit about your history with Twilight. You're a big fan, yeah?
Yeah, let's just say the high schooler in me is elated to be here. Whether or not I'm this huge fan currently, it's kind of up in the air. But
Got it. But your inner child loves it.
Correct. I had all the books. I had all the movies.
Yes.
And then it didn't hit me until watching New Moon that I was like, oh, I had the whole playlist. Like, I used to fall asleep to this in college, and Ryan's like, you're such a dork.
I love it. I love it. This is also the first time that we've been outnumbered. We look at 3 women and only 2 guys, and this is going to be a great
estrogen attack
episode.
I have questions for you ladies.
Oh, perfect. I can't wait to get to that.
I'm scared.
For those of you who've never listened,
Bring it.
what we're going to do is we're going to give you the vitals first. We'll tell you everything about the movie, how it qualifies. Believe me, it qualifies.
28% qualifies.
Okay.
It should.
And then we'll tell you basically who was in it, who starred in it, all that. And then we're going to go scene by scene through the movie, ultimately culminating with us giving out awards to the people that did good, the people that didn't do so good. And then we'll tell you whether we think this deserves the title of a bad movie. And I'm sure there'll be all kinds of complicated feelings and tears and emotions and hugs and group therapy and whatever else.
That's what this is right now.
Exactly
Absolutely.
So thank you all for being here. We're going to get straight into the vitals. Movie was directed by Chris Weitz, who did not direct the first one. So they brought in a brand new director.
Huh.
The guy, probably more well known as a screenwriter than a director. He actually wrote the screenplay for Rogue One, Star Wars.
Okay.
That one. So
okay. I like that movie.
That's a good movie.
But the person that has been all the way through, so from the first one to the last one, Melissa Rosenberg wrote the screenplays based off the Stephanie Meyer's books, but she wrote all 5 of the screenplays for all 5 of the movies. So they never changed writers. Noticed through the entire thing. Okay, perfect. Movie starred Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Taylor Lautner, along with a bunch of others. But those are the big 3.
Dakota Fanning was in this.
Randomly.
Just randomly. I was like, wow, is that Dakota Fanning?
I remember I sat forward and I took my last one. That's goddamn Dakota Fanning. Yeah.
We'll get to it, but...
I was like, all right.
She was intense.
Cool.
Literally.
Looking a little different than War of the Worlds.
Intent? No.
100%.
Stare intense.
Guys, you want to know why they kept making these movies?
Because it made a ridiculous amount of money.
Because
that's
teenage
why.
girls.
The budget for this film, they were able to make this thing because they spent $10 on visual effects.
Yeah, pretty much.
For only $50 million. Pretty cheap for a blockbuster.
Pretty cheap. And how much did it bring in, James?
$711 million.
Yes. It beat out the last time movie made that much. An opening night was
that's crazy.
Matrix. Of that,
that's
second.
crazy.
Insane.
Wow.
Amount of
That's crazy. Who showed up and
You
Right
know
here.
who showed up.
Right here.
I went.
Right here.
I went
did not.
in theaters.
They showed up.
Okay.
No.
Theaters.
No.
I went and I saw this. I was in college when this came out. A freshman in college. I wore a shirt. We all went to Walmart.
Yeah.
My roommates and I, and got Team Vampire shirts, and then we went off to the theater.
So wait,
And
you
we
were team Edward?
Oh yeah.
What year did this come out in theaters?
Oh
09.
gosh, 09, yeah.
Okay, so I would have been 4 years old, so I did not go see it.
I don't care. You would have been.
No, but Lauren was part of this $711 million. $10 of that
So,
was
yeah.
on her.
Yeah. Yep. Over here. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, I had posters. I mean, the list really goes
I
on.
love
Wow.
it. I love it.
Hate to admit it, but yes.
Well, this would be interesting because there are definitely some people at this table that I think are strongly team Jacob. I don't want to speak for people, but we'll see. Are you still team Edward?
You know, I was trying to think
looking at
about
me or
that.
you looking at her?
Know, 'cause
No,
it's been a while, and I was like, nope, definitely Team Edwards. Still.
Still,
We should go over what we said last time.
Because
to
do
see.
you remember what you said
This-
last
Yeah,
time?
so
Yeah.
I said Team Jacob.
Okay. Do you
I don't remember.
You said Team Jacob.
Did I?
And
Okay.
then they said Edward.
We said
remember.
Yep.
I said
was
Edward.
I remember.
and Edward here. So
Okay. So this side was Team Jacob.
Jacob.
I don't know if you
Sure.
still are. You have the right to change your mind.
Thanks.
Okay. No problem. You knew that before I told
I
you.
just remember
did.
the last time you guys were really
Yeah.
interested.
Because Jacob
Yeah.
did nothing in the first movie.
Yeah.
He showed up in the woods during her prom. Like, I'm just hanging out in the woods while you're
Hey,
going to
check me
prom.
out.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
now I know why.
And then he left and
It
nothing
is about what
happened.
he didn't do and what Edward did do in
All
the
right.
first movie.
All right. We'll get
Okay.
to it. We'll get to it.
we calm down.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Calm down.
That will not be.
Actually, I'm already kind of
Do not expect that to be the case. She shall not.
The movie, this $700 million movie, sits at a freaking 4.8 on IMDb.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Generous. It's generous.
And it's got a 28% critic score. And get this, a fresh 61% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So the audience definitely showed up for this one.
They were looking at those reviews, crying as they wiped the tears away from their face with $100 bills.
Oh gosh, the studio, they didn't
all
care.
the way to the bank. They were just inconsolable.
No, and it was early social media, and I remember even back then, everybody posting Team Jacob, Team Edward, Team all that stuff. That was all over social media.
Hashtag
All
team
that
this,
stuff.
Team that.
Yeah. So
I was somehow immune.
okay, well that's fine because we forced you to do it now as
Yeah.
as an older person. So
See if you can catch the bug.
that's right.
Okay.
We're gonna make a Twilight fan out of you yet, Nicole.
Okay, I'm ready. I guess.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Well, look, before we carve up this movie like a werewolf, this is our 1,000 patron plea. You guys, we're in week 3 here of our push, our big 45-day push to get to 1,000 patrons. We've got 130,000 downloads a month is what the show gets, but only 471 back the show. So we're chasing 1K by May 19th. And if we get there, guys, we are going to roast Surf Ninjas. We're going to get all of the BMR hosts together. The entire cast is going to come
12
together
people in here.
in
Get
one room.
your friends.
Okay,
Sweaty.
please. It's going to be hot and sweaty. Jenna
Yes,
can come
get your
too.
friends.
Oh,
Moist.
We're also going to shoot and produce a short film called Wisconsin Baywatch. It's going to be a lot of fun. But besides all that, like that's if we hit our goal. If you just join up, guys, you get access to our exclusive shows, Good Movies Rule, Cartoon Clubhouse, Trashed Your Piece Theater, and The Horror Reel, Lauren and Ryan's
Yes.
show.
That's a good time.
Yeah, guys, you can get on there for as little as like $5 a month. Save us from Joe's Twilight obsession because if we don't hit the goal, Joe's gonna make us do Eclipse, and then we're gonna have to do Eclipse and Breaking Dawn back to back.
Oh, no, we're doing them all.
If we don't hit our goal, Joe's gonna make us do it. All right. So we're your messed up trash family. Jump in, let us hit 1,000, and let's throw the biggest party ever. All right, guys, we down for this?
I got my sister-in-law to join.
I know
Did you
did.
notice that?
That was awesome.
And she jumped on Discord right away, and she was like,
Didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, and she
It was
just
great.
enjoying herself like crazy.
Fun fact, I was recently in a Marshall's with my friend, Kristen. What's up, Kristen? And we were
Shout out to Kristen.
Shout out, Kristen. And we were looking at various items on the clearance section. I'm obsessed with various clearance sections, just seeing the randomness that remains after everybody else has picked through. And the person in line behind us because we were actually sort of in line at the same time, said, "You guys are funny. You should be on a podcast." And I said, "Did you actually?" And I stopped. I was like, "Never mind." And then she was walking out of the store, and I went up and I was like, "Actually, there's a podcast that you should listen to if you thought that we were." And so I told her about it. She's like,
Let's go.
I might have actually heard of it and like it. And I was like, if you don't, it's easy to find. Bad Movies Rule everywhere you
Let's
get your
go,
podcast.
Nicole. Let's go.
So she might be a patron now. Thank you,
Sweet.
Marshall's
Look
friend.
at that. You're not going to find us on the clearance rack, although we're priced cheaply enough that we could be if we
Right?
wanted to, right? All right, guys, before we get into the scene by scene here, let's pay some bills. It's time. Here we go, guys.
That was tough. Those bills.
Those commercials.
They are hard.
The second one was my favorite. Whatever
Yeah, it
that
was.
product was, I use that product all the time.
Twice. I've used it twice.
You should be careful.
Right? You never
I
know.
don't know what it's going to be. I hope it wasn't something bad.
I recommended that one to my grandmother.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how I found out about it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Because you were dressed as his grandmother
Right.
on a rocking chair.
Exactly.
Like a
To find out he was just a big bad wolf. Dressed up like my grandmother.
All right.
Sonny.
He was Jake.
From
Dressed up
Twilight?
Yeah, just dressed up like my grandmother.
I almost said from State Farm, but that's a different
I know.
makeup.
Haha.
Okay. All right, guys, here we go. The movie opens with a new moon, but it looks just like the old moon.
Yep.
So what happened to the old moon?
It's new.
They never tell us.
Isn't that one of the phases of the moon?
Is it? I don't know. I just thought they were like,
It could be the face.
this is the moon
Phase.
2.
That would make more sense,
Yeah.
though.
Forget the old moon. This is the new one.
Yeah.
That's what I thought that we were doing here.
Out with the old and in with the new.
Right.
It occurs when the moon is between the Earth and the sun, making it unilluminated and thus invisible from Earth.
You lost me. About halfway through.
Blah,
that.
blah, science, blah.
About
Okay,
halfway
I'm
through
back.
that, I was
I'm
out.
back.
Space science there.
Yeah, space science.
All right, well, we see Bella, and she's running through A Handmaid's Tale looking for something.
Little Red Riding Hood convention.
Little Red Riding
Yep.
Hood convention.
Yep.
She's running through, and it's like, you'd think it's probably a dream. Things are kind of moving a little ethereally, and she finds her gran in the forest. But then Edward's also in the forest.
Yeah.
And she's like, Edward, come here. And he's like, no, I don't want to make out in front of your grandmother.
It's really weird, but come on, I'll do it anyways.
Right. But she is her grandmother. What was the meaning behind this
Then
dream?
there's a mirror in the forest.
Right, because
Then
she doesn't,
she's looking
until they
at-
boop each other's fingers, she doesn't really, oh my gosh, it's me.
My thought
Yeah.
is Bella, she has one fear.
Yeah.
One fear above all, it's
Making out in front of her grandma.
getting old.
Oh, getting old.
It's one of like 19 references
It's
they make
getting old.
in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But what if
Between
I'm
that
old?
and then her dad with the little gray hair remark, she flips out.
She's 18.
I know. She's like, oh my God, he has gray hair.
Is she even 17 maybe?
I think she's, well, later on she says,
On her
I'm 18.
birthday.
Oh, her birthday
Yeah,
truck,
right.
blah, blah.
So
Yep,
it's her
you're,
birthday.
you're right.
So she's
you're right.
18 years old. Shut up about, I'm getting old. I don't want to think about how old I'm getting. Please.
I think that way sometimes.
What? You're
women
19.
think-
You're
yeah,
19.
Yeah.
Yes.
Calm
women think
down.
That
No,
way.
but
They do.
But my childhood's over, so I'm old. I'm
That's
like-
not how it works. You can't sit here at 19 in front of all of us olds and be like, I feel like I'm
olds. Yep.
old.
I feel old.
For like
I'm
a
not saying I
caveman,
am
you're
old.
old.
Yes, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
You'd be a senior citizen
No, sorry.
back then. All right. Anyway.
So I'm going to say something real quick.
Please.
Though. I'm kind of
That's-
disappointed.
Yeah.
This entire episode, I was going to be doing this like all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like
Oh, you gotta
pulling the
flip your hair
hair
all
behind my
Teen
ear.
girl over the ear.
But now I
hair.
can't because I realize I have to wear headphones.
Lame.
So
yeah.
I'm going to be doing.
What did you
like-
call that? Pick me energy?
Pick me
She's
energy.
Just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to celebrate my birthday, you guys. She tells everybody.
Sorry, no, it's not my birthday. Oh my gosh, why would you say that?
Because it's so lame.
It's called pick me. Being a pick me girl.
Yeah,
So
pick
could you explain to our listeners, because we have a lot of older listeners, that what does it mean to have pick
A
me
lot of
energy?
guy listeners too. So please,
If you say
Okay.
someone has
Help
pick
us
me,
out here.
Someone has pick me energy.
So you can be pick me and not. It's not just a girl thing. You can be pick me, but it's
Okay.
basically saying things in order to get attention from either the opposite gender, to make them think that you're like cutesy or that
Yeah.
you're like
Got it.
petite.
Because I'm watching this with you, and she's like, "Oh gosh, don't celebrate my birthday." She's like, "Oh, she's being so pick me."
She's trying to be different. She's trying to be that girl. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
helpful, I think, for people to understand, because she is definitely doing that. She's going to tell everyone she doesn't want to celebrate. She gets a digicam from her dad. Charlie's back. Love Charlie. Who doesn't love
Of course.
good old Charlie?
Gotta love Charlie.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's out of the box, which is nice too.
It is.
Yeah, she's
right?
here, take the.
He's like, here, it's not a present if it's not wrapped.
Right, there's no way to charge it or anything.
It doesn't.
No instruction manual whatsoever.
There's no,
Oh, right.
but probably
'Cause you
just
got
bad
this at clearance at whatever store you were at.
That's right.
what it was.
That's right.
why.
Marshall's.
That's why.
Good times.
All right. She goes to school, and I'm like, oh, it's the famous parking lot with the crash scene from the first
Nothing
movie.
has changed.
Nothing has changed. It looks the same. Edward
They
shows up.
saved. They saved a lot of money because the set didn't change much.
No.
Yeah.
Edward shows up to school in slow motion, as most vampires do.
Okay, but the music. Okay, the music. It's like you get through all those scenes and you're like, oh yes, I've arrived. Like
Yes.
this is great. Like
Oh,
here
we're
comes
back.
Edward.
We're back, and
Yeah.
here he is. I think the music plays when he they can hear it too when he comes out of his car. in
She's
slow
just
motion.
in awe of Edward.
He has an
Can't
iPod.
even.
Yeah.
I mean, that car. Come on, like what's not to love here?
You know what's not to love? The fact that they're that couple. They exchange about 2 words, and then they're that couple in high school that makes out in the parking lot.
Disgusting.
Before school.
I mean, you know, I've been there myself, but you know, all good.
I'm with you.
No, it's even worse when you're like walking down the hallway trying to get to your locker, and then there's just disgusting.
You're just like. Yeah, but they're that couple. They
That
are
couple.
because they're making out
they
almost.
are.
immediately. And then Jacob and his biceps roll up, which she literally
my
says,
God.
"Hello, biceps."
Literally.
He doesn't even go to school there.
I don't get
No.
it. I don't get it.
He's like, "I'm just here to because it's the first."
Maybe he's
I just wanted
shadowing. You know? I mean,
So isn't it though that he sort of imprinted some sort of on her?
I don't know, but he makes some excuse like he's there to buy parts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's there to give her
Facebook
something.
Marketplace.
At first bell on
Yeah.
day 1 of school.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's gonna be there.
Okay. All right. He's there. And
He's there to give her something.
What does he give her? I don't even remember.
dream
the
catcher.
dream. What's up, Bella? I just made this for you, and I
my
thought
God.
about you. And
like you couldn't wait till after school. It's a dream catcher.
or go to her house.
Yeah.
Hang it in your
It's a
locker.
dream catcher. It can wait.
How about 8:30 at night, right
Yeah.
before you? Have to
I mean,
go to
you
sleep?
can mailbox that. you know? I'm just
100%.
saying.
You can mailbox. it. Yes.
But it starts though.
So when you guys get to school way back in the day, when you did,
Sure.
past tense, would you get there with about 47 minutes before the first class?
No.
Because between when they roll up and then before first period inside the building after this scene,
yes.
they're at just the most chill,
leisurely.
slow,
No.
and nothing's happening.
If school started at bell rings at 7:05,
Yep.
I'm getting there at 7:04
Yep.
Yeah.
and running to class.
There's
See,
just
they
like-
gotta fill in, put in all the slow mos and stuff. So they really gotta stretch.
She's
it
like,
out.
Mom, I got to get to school by 6:30 because I'm going to get out of the car in slow motion. It's going to take a long time for me to get through all
There's
this.
a lot of expedition.
We got to make out for 10 minutes. You never know who's going to show up and waste her time.
I
because
know.
we're adults.
Edward's
That's extra hangout time. I mean, I did arrive 30 minutes before.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay.
But we also lived like half an hour away, to be fair. But I don't know. You just hung out.
all right. I like how Edward's like, I'll let you guys talk. And he goes and still stands like close enough to
He can hear
eavesdrop.
everything they're saying.
Read their mind. Read his mind. Yeah.
Wolf
But he's close
ears.
enough to hear without even having to read their minds. He's like standing right there.
Right. He should have been further away.
Yeah.
He could have still heard.
Just put his eye socket on her cheekbone.
Right. I'll let you guys
Stand
talk. I'll
right
let you guys.
behind her.
I'll let you guys talk.
It's fine.
He's right here.
You're right.
Yeah.
What's up, Jacob? He wants to give you this dream
No, go
catcher.
ahead, it's fine.
You ruined my gift before I gave it to her. Because he does that later.
As
He's
he
like, he
walks
wants to
up-
tell you this. This is what he's going to say.
Yeah. He's gonna give you a dream catcher. Damn it, Edward. But this is where Bella starts to go south for me.
Already? We just started.
I know we just started, but here we go. She stands way too close to people.
Yeah, she does. She's a close talker.
Oh my gosh, it gets worse and worse. Talk about maybe not give out the wrong signals. Okay, if you have a guy friend, you're not gonna sit there and talk
You think she was giving Jacob mixed
about
signals?
6 inches away from them.
They are more than just friends. Okay.
At this time, they're technically just friends.
They hugged. Okay.
They did hug.
Okay,
They
now
hugged.
I've
Meaningfully.
seen.
Can I talk about for a second the
Yes.
hug?
Please.
What
Do
was
it.
with Jacob's aggressive eye contact to Edward
The
when he hugged her?
nastiest,
He hugged her and he looked at
shadiest
him.
look ever.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you hug someone? Just eye contact to somebody else?
Yeah,
But her boyfriend
It was shady.
It was so aggressive.
It was so shady. He was
Well, he couldn't pee on her and mark his territory. So that's what it was.
You could.
That's
could
what,
have.
good call. Good call. Good call.
That's what it was.
he's pretty much.
Can't keep giving him hot dogs.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But also, remember, they're like I think it's foreshadowing that they're also in like
Yeah.
two groups that have a treaty because otherwise they would just mess each other.
I guess that was just the first thing I remember when I saw that eye contact. I went, "Oh,
It was.
damn!"
I loved it.
Yeah.
All right. In class, they're watching Romeo and Juliet. For someone who, I mean, the joke is that he's been alive so long that even when he gets called on, he knows it by heart, right? Because he knows the whole thing.
Yep.
But for somebody that knows the entire thing, did you catch him saying how Romeo killed his true love? Like he's explaining it to Bella, and I'm like, Juliet killed herself. Like it's very commonly known in the story. Like he doesn't even get it right.
I think he's saying though that like
gonna know.
he with his love he
Yeah.
made it happen.
But but the way that it's scripted makes
Sure.
it seem like he thinks
Yep.
Romeo murdered her, which is a totally different story.
Good job, Stephanie.
Yeah.
If that's what happened.
And then he spends the next 5 minutes talking about how he wishes he could kill himself.
Yeah,
so
what's
that's
that?
awesome. Yeah.
Well, it must be nice to be
Alrighty.
human and be able to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Don't do that.
no. But that was a weird
that was
thing
really
to do.
weird. Did not like that.
I think out of all the reasons I'm jealous of humans is that I can't kill myself if I wanted to. Okay, cool. So
right, good talk.
see you at lunch.
Right. I think they're having tater tots.
I was gonna say chicken nuggies.
Probably both.
Probably both.
Delicious.
Jeez, Edward. Keeping it light in first period, man.
Like his face color, but not his arms or neck. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, they
I
haven't
have
fixed that
issues
yet.
with the makeup department.
Until the end. They get
All right. This is really his excuse to give the Volturi backstory. The Volturi are the fancy vampires in Italy. You must have been thrilled. They spoke Italian.
They did.
Okay. Was it actually Italian?
Yeah.
There's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't feel like he knew it as his...
boop.
Yep, that's what it was. But it wasn't like his first language. They come in and he's like, "Hello, singer," in Italian. I was like, "Why?"
I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
Sure, but I always wonder because I don't speak the language that when they just fudge it in these movies and just say whatever and
Pasta visual.
Right, exactly.
That's what you always say.
That's what I'm saying. So when I know you speak Italian, that's why I wanted to ask you. But anyway, they're these fancy Italian vampires, and they're in charge of all the other vampires.
Yeah.
The only rule is you have to be super secret, and if you don't get caught or don't act in such a way that you'll draw attention
Right.
to the vampire people or whatever.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
it. And that's going to be really important for later children.
Everybody got that?
Okay.
Yep, I do.
Hold on to that button. I got another one for you coming
Okay,
up.
please.
All right.
So then, after Romeo and Juliet in acting class, we get the birthday party at. Well, before we even get to that,
Okay.
you said something to me while they're sitting in class. You said, "How is Edward whiter than last movie?"
Because he actually is. And I actually, because last time I was like, okay,
Hold
like,
up panels next to each other.
because you like the families, like in the first movie, it's like, oh, they're pale. Like, I mean, you wouldn't think that they're like, literally, like the entire class is staring at him, right, as he's reciting or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not know?
That's a
Look
vampire.
at him, like he's white.
He's either an albino or he's a vampire.
I thought red.
Yeah,
Right.
He just looks like unnatural.
How far is this from the previous movie? Do you happen to know?
I think it's
2 days later. I
2
think.
days later.
No, I mean in years of movies coming out.
like the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
I
08?
was going to say it's a year or two at the very
That was amazing.
I think it was 08
Yeah.
to 09.
Because
Yeah.
he looks so old to me next to her. I mean, that it made me uncomfortable.
Because he looks like a dead person.
He looks
A
skinnier
dead
in this one too.
Older.
Yeah.
skinnier.
Yeah, I thought he
Yeah.
looked skinnier too.
The
I'm
jawline
like
was
seamless.
more
Let's keep
pronounced.
going.
He wasn't.
Oh, jeez.
He wasn't as muscly.
Seamless.
It just seems like a 40-year-old and an 18-year-old.
100%.
Real quick, before we jump into the
To the birthday party. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
When they meet up with Alice and who was it? Jasper in the hallway.
In the hallway. Yes.
There's something I want to point out. Get ready. Get your finger on the.
I'm ready.
Okay. Jasper controls Bella with his vampire powers.
He does?
Because Jasper has vampire powers.
Yeah.
And his vampire powers, if I'm not
Vampires,
mistaken,
I believe.
is he's able to control the emotions of people around him. Correct? Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Great.
Everybody got that?
And he controls Bella into convincing her to have the party. Am I correct? Am I
Yeah.
correct?
I don't. Is it?
That happened.
Okay.
But, well, I don't know if it was like.
All right. Everybody got that?
Everybody got that?
I got that. Thank you.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to it.
We're
Okay.
going to circle back.
I love Jasper. Every time I see Jasper, when he ran into her in the hallway, he's always so on the verge. He's like, Bella, hi, how are you? It's Alice. Oh,
gonna
and you
eat
remember
you.
you remember Jasper? Cut to Jasper.
Slowly breathing.
He's standing with his hands in his pockets. Just
His makeup is insane.
He's insane.
All of it.
It's not as bad as it was in the first movie.
You know
That
he's
one's-
clutching the inside of his pockets
Yes.
like crazy, right?
It's like he's just trying to hold in poop. the
That's
whole time.
exactly the whole time.
He's constipated.
Well, wait, they'll see what happens here because they go over to a birthday party at the Cullens house, and they're always great at throwing parties for Bella. And she's opening up.
While wearing a dress, which is super uncomfortable.
Yep. And she opens a package and gets a paper cut.
Which you would not get a paper cut to that extreme. I'm like,
No,
I
it's
cut,
like dripping
Oh, no.
down her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she
I'm
holds
like,
it in front of her face.
Yeah,
paper
like
cut.
look at the blood.
Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah.
Jasper goes,
slow motion. Just like
No.
his eye starts twitching. He's
The scene directly before this, Edward is telling her that, the only thing that can hurt me is you.
Yeah, right.
And, but I'm always here to protect you. Cut to next scene. She gets a paper cut, and Edward chucks her into the wall.
she folds completely in half.
Chucks her, just ragdolls her.
Joe, it was so unnecessary because all he had to do, he's blocked
step in the
Jasper.
way. Yes.
But before he blocks Jasper, he stiff arms her like Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? Like, boom. And she just yeets her into the. Good.
She went from having a paper cut to just seeing a
She's
blade.
To now
Oh,
having
sliced
the
up.
first of 3 concussions. I'm going to keep track of this, by the way.
That was so uncalled
Can you press
for.
the concussion meter, please?
Yes.
Keep track of the
yes.
concussion meter.
Okay,
There it
and
goes.
Wait,
Yeah, we got
what
it.
is
There we go.
with all the candles? Like, if
Lots.
you're doing a birthday
Yeah.
party, it's like fun and like this
Yeah.
is like mood lighting. I'm like, are we walking into an orgy party? Because like, what? If, like, it's a
The
lot of candles.
vampires?
They're
It's a
vampires.
lot.
The Venn diagram of vampires and like adult things
And orgies.
overlap.
The only party they know how to throw is an
Ain't no
orgy
party like a
or like a
vampire party.
bloodletting, and
Yeah.
so they're just like, where does it
And-
fall between those two things?
And they all own Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, no. Yeah, is it Bed Bath & Beyond? No.
Sure.
No.
Bath and Body
Body
Works.
Works.
Bath & Body Works.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they all own Bath & Body Works as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they got their money.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. The aesthetic of the party was lame.
And mom
For
made
sure.
mom made the argument that it was like, oh, he doesn't know his own strength.
No.
But I mean, the
Bull crap.
extent, like it's
He
crazy.
chucked a tree the last movie. As if you could ever overpower me.
If he just hugged her, I mean, have you looked at his features of his face and actually Jacob's as
Yes.
well next
Have you
to
ever looked at
hers?
his features?
Her eyes are small, her nose is small, her mouth is small, and then it's fine. This is not a bad thing, but I think they really chose Edward because like his
Everything is
angularity is
huge.
big, and Jacob his face, everything. So
Yeah.
it's just really like this big versus this tiny little.
She's so dainty.
Person. who's
She was dainty. That's why he folded her in half
Yep.
into the drywall.
Just hugged her. Just
It was
hugged.
actually, I made us replay that clip because her hitting the table is so funny.
the funniest thing in the movie. Oh, okay. All right. She's all cut up. And Jenna, does Edward one time ever apologize for yeeting her into the table?
Nope.
Nope.
Not once.
Right. Jasper gets taken away. Okay. He looks at Aunt Bella and he just doesn't say.
He just stares at her.
Oh,
They're
word.
like, I'll go sit her up. He never apologizes. Never.
They're in
to
the
her.
car. He hasn't
He
apologized.
drives her home and doesn't apologize.
Yeah.
You're right.
Team Edward, huh?
Team Edward, my Team Edward membership is slipping. Yeah. Okay. It's slipping.
It's coming back to me while I came on your side. We'll see. We'll see.
Well,
We'll see.
yeah, because
Come on
at this
over.
point, her entire arm is bleeding.
Right.
He's just looking at her.
And Jasper's like licking the window outside, like trying to get back
But
in.
even Alice is like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
This is too
Even for
much.
me,
You're
it's
so
too much.
tasty.
Yeah.
The next morning, Jasper's sucking the carpet.
Get him out of the carpet, please. Jasper.
So over dramatic will be the theme for the rest of the movie,
Yes.
by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you
yes.
weren't
Oh,
sure.
yes, yes.
Dad vampire stitches her up, and then he lights her bandages on fire. He's like, this in case I get hungry so I don't suck on these later.
If you
Yeah.
go back to that
Jasper
scene,
would. Jasper would find them.
Yeah. You can't throw them away or Jasper and be in the trash can.
Make a lollipop out of it. It's fine. So during that scene, if you go back, while he's fixing her arm, she has her hand on his hip.
That's again.
Like
she stands
he's clutching his
way
hip.
too close to people.
Like they're dancing. And I will, this is my flag planted, like throughout the movie, I believe the director has put them in awkward, potentially adult positioning in lots of different ways.
On purpose.
So many times. Like when you'd be like, oh, 100%. Are they doing it? No. Okay. Okay. I don't. What?
All right. So Edward takes her home, doesn't apologize because he's a jerk. And again, already we're in the first 15 minutes. She's like, change me. Like the whole thing from the first movie. Change me to a vampire. No. She's like, well, then will you kiss me as weirdly as possible?
So
where she grabs her chin.
Come on.
Or
No,
like two hands on the chin.
on.
Was it the worst
No,
kiss
because
ever?
that's weird to be like.
No, it was so many
Kiss me?
noises. It's like
Yeah, it was weird. But
Please make the noises.
Yes, please make the noises.
So there's an auga, I believe, followed by a jackhammer, and then what else?
well, every time that they kiss, it's like they're acting like it's like the most intense moment of their entire lives.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Every
It's
time.
Too much.
Yes, they're made apparently for each other. Blah blah.
But he's so into it. And the next day, he doesn't show up to school. He takes off school so he can hang out in her bedroom all day. It's true. It's
Right.
true.
He does.
He's just in
No,
there.
100%.
And then when she gets off, he's like, I got to talk to you in the woods because that's where we have all our important
All of
conversations.
them.
Yep.
Or in the woods.
Yep. Follow me
So
in the woods,
follow
just
me
like
in
you
the woods.
did the last time.
We're leaving to go to Italy. So when you say we,
So,
you
like,
mean
Not you.
us? He's like, no, not you.
I don't like you. I don't want you.
I hate your
Frick
guts.
you.
Yep.
You're the worst.
You're the worst.
Yep.
Bye.
You got it.
And she's just like, I'm begging you, no. And I'm like, girl, just slap him in the face.
Yes.
Literally. That's what he deserves.
You
Or
were so
remember,
mad.
you have lived maybe 1/5 of your life and move on. Also a choice.
Possibly.
She's being very desperate.
But no, she even takes it to another level of horribleness, and she goes, "Oh, well, is this about my soul?
Yes.
Oh, I don't even care about my soul. You can just, I don't even need it. Oh, jeez. I mean, souls are.
What, so I'm going to go to hell?
Yeah, let me get my hair out. Oh my God,
Yeah, my-
souls are just so
Both
overrated.
of my shoes have
Nobody-
one. Who
no-
cares?
I actually
Nobody
kind of want to go to hell
wants
now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
H double hockey stick.
It's
We are high school.
It was a pathetic attempt, and it was.
When she started begging, you really got upset.
Yeah.
You're just a girl, don't beg.
Yeah,
right?
girl,
It's just
pick
like
yourself
so
up.
thinly veiled when she keeps saying change me. It just seems like an obvious just
Yeah. He's like, I promise you'll never see me again. It'll be like I never existed, which is
except
what he tells
in
her.
your mind.
Thank goodness.
You're not good enough for me.
It was crazy because he went from being obsessed with her, like I can't live without you, to just being like I don't even care about.
I don't even care.
in the woods.
And he takes off, and it's like she tries to follow him, but remember, it's like as if you could outrun me. I mean, that was again from the
I know.
first
Have you seen
movie,
him
right?
run up hills and run up
Right.
trees?
He zooms real
don't know.
fast. You don't. You're not the zoomer. You're the piggybacker on the zoomy guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So he takes, and after this conversation, remember I said to Jenna, I was like, imagine if Jacob was just behind one of these trees, like, this is so weird. I was just here and I heard what happened. Do you like, should we go out?
Do you want to go on like a motorcycle ride? I don't.
I like things. Do you like things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have something going on. I could just tell.
It's so strange. I happen
I
to
can
be
do piggyback rides. If you wanna.
Yeah, well, except you'd be riding on my back. But
Yeah.
like it's the same thing.
Yeah, have you been catching your dreams? Because there's this thing. It's a Native American.
You
Never
should
mind.
have been. in
Let me
the
do
forest.
push-ups for you.
Right.
Let me do some push-ups.
Have you seen me do these?
I think that would have been perfect. I would have loved that.
I don't breathe.
He lives in the forest,
exactly.
doesn't he? You know,
Well, yeah.
kind of.
I don't know about that at that point if he did or not.
That would have been the perfect moment to do that, right?
Bella is the worst.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Bella is the villain of this movie.
And I agree with you.
wow, the villain of the movie.
100%.
She's
button
annoying.
for that?
She's annoying beyond all reason.
I think.
I don't even know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's solid. I looked Bella up, and she most likely has an undiagnosed
Oh, jeez.
borderline personality disorder.
The actor or
No, the character of Bella.
Bella.
It is antisocial behavior, compulsive behavior, hostility, impulsivity, irritability, risk-taking behaviors, self-destructive behaviors, self-harm, self-isolation, or lack of restraint.
Wow.
Moods, you get anger, anxiety, general discomfort, guilt, loneliness, mood swings, sadness, Psychological, you get depression, distorted self-image, or narcissism, and then some other.
Why are these all Bella?
This
That's
is
crazy.
Bella.
Deep.
Okay, but how is that also not a breakup? Like a high school breakup? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Oh, this has been building up. I will say, the first movie, I was like, I gave her some credit because she's learning all this for the first time. So I gave her some slack.
Yeah.
She's at this point in time, she knows what's going on. Yeah. And she persists to be the worst.
The worst.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you're 18 though, and you get broken up,
By a super hot vampire.
I wouldn't sleep in the woods.
Right.
I'm not gonna just randomly fall asleep in the woods if somebody broke up
I'm
with
not
me.
saying that, but I'm saying like,
Yeah.
okay, this is the reason like the book sold, the movie sold.
Yeah.
Because this is like
Yes.
high school girl, like
Absolutely.
100%.
Totally. She passed
Like-
out because of love.
Twilight,
Okay.
Twilight was like
almost killed
healing for
Okay.
What were you gonna
high
say?
school
From
girl.
experience, though, okay?
Vampires? Okay,
No,
cool.
with being broken up with at 18.
Sure.
I did not sit in a chair and look out a window for 3 months straight wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
She
just
sits
saying-
in that same clothes for 3 months.
I know she stank. She needed to take a shower so
Right?
bad.
So my husband, Jim, is sitting next to me and he goes, they're going to do it one more time.
Yeah.
No, they're going to, I just know it. They're going to go
No, he
around a third
literally
time.
called it.
Every time it whips around, I'm like,
Yeah.
November.
Next month. December. That's it.
And I hate to do this, guys. I don't want to be that guy.
No, please.
Actually, they live in Washington State.
Yeah.
It can snow, but Washington State doesn't really have seasons.
Oh, boo.
Okay, so there's not going
Boo
to be
this
raking
man.
leaves
That's true. That's
Boo
true.
this man.
and or
The tree guy knows.
and
Give me.
or snow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Tree guy knows. Tree
All
guy.
right.
Sorry, I'm that guy.
Speaking of that sound that James just made, there is so much heavy breathing in this movie.
Sorry.
Just
Yes.
the percentage
All
of
of it.
movie that is heavy breathing is high for a film that is made for
Yes.
teen ladies.
Yes. A lot.
Well, they wanted to be like, let's show sex, but we can't, so we can't do a
Sure.
porno, but let's
Yeah.
just,
Yes.
keep it real.
They have to
Keep it
you're right. It's all about the sexual tension.
It is.
Oh,
But
Because
it-
127%.
Because they can't, in this movie, they
Yeah.
can't do the sex.
But if you watch it again, watch the film and then look at the placement of women, men, her in
Yes.
the ocean, all the things that are happening. It's
Yeah.
very like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did skip over something too. She was found in the forest, and then she was
Yeah,
like,
she was carried by a werewolf
yeah.
who was a modest werewolf because he had pants on. He changed back
Werewolf
and was
Yeah, I was-
wearing pants.
trying to figure
Werewolf
that out.
pants.
Okay, and that werewolf scene in theaters, let me tell you.
Oh, did they go nuts?
Actually scary. Like, I hate
Oh.
seeing wolves at night.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
on the
yeah,
big
yeah.
screen, like when you're seeing the eyes, I'm like,
You just see the silhouette
freaking
with the
it.
eyes.
Like, yeah.
oh, okay.
That it was very freaky because I was like,
All
this
right.
looks like nothing now, but
Right.
freshman high school.
All right,
big screen.
that's valid. That's
Yeah,
valid.
valid.
All right, after hanging out in her clothes for 4 months, she finally goes out with Anna Kendrick.
Sure.
But spots these biker. Her friends had a very much smaller part in
Yeah, I
the
do
movie
wish
than
that they were
Yeah.
in it more,
Yeah.
or Anna Kendrick at least.
spots these biker guys that they tried to beat her up last movie, or she at least had a flashback about whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
Because Edward saved her because they probably
Right.
are going to try to,
Yeah, do whatever. She spots him
Assault
this
her.
time, and it's the first time she sees Edward's ghost. So she goes to get on the.
The force.
I don't. Yeah, I was like, Bella, you must go to the Dagobah system.
Exactly. Yes.
and she's like, I'm going to the other system then.
That's right.
For the next
risk-taking system.
many scenes, how many times can you say the word adrenaline or risk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
I guess-
heavy-handed.
I guess this is the only way for me to see him is to do reckless things because he said, promise you won't be reckless.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever answer the question if that's actually him or in her head. Right? Is he projecting?
I think it's
somehow?
him.
I think it's him.
I would
because-
agree with that.
Yeah.
Because she's doing it. She's doing these things in order
Yeah.
to see him.
Yes.
Like, she can't
Yeah.
just make him up.
Right.
Yeah.
But is she hallucinating or is he using
I think it's a
vampire
power.
powers?
I think it's
Both.
a power.
Okay.
I think it's part of Edward's
All right.
powers.
Because he has a bunch.
Fine.
But I have a question. Sorry to keep this
An
going.
excellent memory is one of them.
No,
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think what kind of risky behaviors would trigger him showing up? I mean, obviously some cliff diving, this and that. What about eating food that could be
7-Eleven sushi.
Yes.
Bella, don't do this.
She's at the supermarket buying toilet paper. She's like, I'm gonna get 1 ply. Edward pops up. Bella, don't do that. Your finger will go through.
I'm wondering, can he? Is
What
he
other
like,
things?
Is he watching
Don't lick
her
that 9 volt.
That's
the
what
whole
I'm saying.
time, or is it just that he gets like a sense when she's about to do something and then he like pops up? I don't like. Is he watching her all the time? It doesn't really.
That's a good question because based on what Joe is saying, he would have to be watching the entire time.
Because they're connected at the heart, James.
He goes on. She tries to put.
I want
That's just creepy. That's creepy.
and
She's flipping through the channels and
gets
stops to watch.
activated.
It stops to watch Rubber, and he's like, "Bella, stop." Bella, don't do this.
Don't do it, Bella.
It's just a tire.
Save yourself.
Save yourself.
Well, yeah, because I mean, this whole time, if that is the case, that he could just watch her. Like she was struggling a lot, having nightmares,
Brooding.
Just like he's kind of even worse of a guy if he saw that and
Right.
didn't
She's
do
screaming.
anything.
She's like screaming to wake
why
herself
the
up.
nightmares? Is it it's just sadness or
Depression.
supernatural something?
I think it's supposed to be she's just so depressed.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you for answers.
But it's so over the top. I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I turned around. I'm like, this is not real life. Like, I know obviously, like it's just so out there. But it's like,
Right.
you would cry, you'd be like depressed, but nightmares like that. No.
yeah.
now,
Also, to scream that much, I feel like you have to be awake, don't you?
You think?
I don't know.
Guess.
You would totally end up waking yourself up.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I don't think you could be dead sleep and be screaming your head off like that.
Now you said something before about how it was cathartic seeing, from teenage girls looking at this, where it was almost like, was it like that where you kind of watched yourself in a way?
Okay,
And
it was so much like that, but I started a quote book during the first Twilight.
That's
So-
awesome. Jenna just laughed.
Well, again, I'm trying to understand this. I got questions. Like I said, I got questions.
What do you mean? No, sorry, elaborate, actually.
Okay, so, like, not to jump back to the first movie, but,
Go ahead.
like, she's like, death is easy and, like, life is hard.
Oh, yes.
Like, all those, like, those kinds of, like, quotes. Like, when the movies start out, right, there's these, like, quotes that she has, and it's like,
You wrote them down?
I don't know. They resonated when
Yeah.
you're 18, okay?
Oh, that's cool.
Amazing.
You got them on the inside of your Trapper Keeper, right?
Yeah.
You just pull it up and just like read them out whenever you're like, oh my
Right.
gosh.
I like that.
No, that's great.
Yeah. No.
Next time
'cause
you're in like a meadow with a bunch of flowers, you're like, all right.
No, that scene was stupid as all get out.
Yes.
That was, the only thing that saved the opening scene, I think, was like Edward in that suit coat that looked kind of velvety in the collar. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, okay,
Oh, you were
And
there.
his sparkling
It's the
skin.
stupidest opening scene.
I love it.
Yeah, it was trippy.
Velvety.
All right. The next day, Bella decides she's like, I'm a motorcycle girl now.
Yeah.
Right. That's just what I'm into now. So she brings 2 motorcycles
Because she wants to see Edward.
over to Jacob.
Yep.
And
to
what,
have
she
him-
just lifted those herself, like both of those. Like, Jacob, they're heavy, like, but
Yeah.
I put 2 of them in the truck.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, you're so buff now because you deadlift this bike out of it. But yeah, how'd you get him in there, Bella?
Her dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Her dad, the unsung hero.
Charlie I mean,
broke his back putting these
He's in traction.
He was always gone, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, it
like,
probably wasn't
you know.
Charlie.
No, but I mean, he picked him up, no problem, and just set him down.
It's an excuse for her to hang out with Jacob
Yeah.
and to fix him up to see Edward.
Because she's addicted to people being obsessed with her.
She is.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Or
you.
she's just really confused and she's, in between. I mean, a lot of girls have guys they're like flirty with and friends with.
Yes.
Especially in high school, especially
Yes.
after a breakup.
Yes.
100%. But
I'm not speaking from experience either.
Oh, of course not. No.
You know.
Tell us more.
Nope.
Out for the rest of the story.
This was Jenna. You said to me when she said this, they're gonna fix the bikes up, her and Jacob, and you said you rolled your eyes back so far in your head that they
Wait,
as
for
far as they
what?
would go.
Touch the
When
back
he's
of your
like,
head.
he's like, what should we listen to? And she's like, I don't really like music
Oh,
anymore.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't listen to music anymore. You guys listen to one song in the first movie in his bedroom, and that's like the only connection to
That's
music
what we
that you
do
guys have.
now. We have a connection.
No music, not any genre.
I heard your eyes rolling. That's how hard you rolled.
It made an
That was
audible
so
noise.
obnoxious.
And what teen going through a breakup, like, you're gonna listen to music.
No, and I get it if it's like, oh, this was your guys' movie, you don't want to watch it, or something similar to that. But just saying,
music.
I don't like music.
Just music.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right, Bella. Cool. I don't really like eating food anymore because we did that once together. Remember that time we went to the restaurant?
Yeah.
Watched me
His
eat
French fries remind me of him.
Yeah, he didn't eat.
because
but
he
yeah.
didn't eat. So I don't really like food anymore, or music, or anything. Or
I don't really like
breathing.
trees because we used to climb
We
on
used
them.
to zoom.
Yeah.
And if anyone plays a piano aggressively in front of me, I'll kill them. I can't do it, please. The only thing I can do, that's why I'm a motorcycle girl now, is because it's literally the only thing we didn't do together.
Yep.
So let's build these motorcycles. Then we get the montage of them, her and Jacob flirting, making friends, and she's
Oh my gosh.
all her voiceover is directed to Alice, and Alice is a lovely plot device to have because Alice can see the future and she's a clairvoyant. So she's talking to Alice Cullen like, "Oh, Alice, now when I'm around him, I feel like that hole inside of me might even be healed." And healing.
Is she treating Alice like her own diary?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, but that's the sister she most connected with because Rosalie can't stand her.
Rosalie's the worst.
So Alice is just like, what are you gonna say today?
Well, she sent a bunch of emails to her too, but the email was like turned off. And,
Maybe that's what it was.
yeah, so she's just trying to.
There were so many of those little things, that little throwaways.
Right. There's a little really important little expo thing that happens while in the middle of this montage. They're driving out and they see Sam and his cult, as Jacob calls them, of cliff divers, and he's like, "That's Sam. He thinks he runs things around here, and those are his little cult followers, and we steer clear of those guys. That'll be important later, okay?"
Everybody got that?
Time to ride the fixed up bikes.
Yep.
And of course, Eddie shows up. "Bella, stop having fun."
Don't do anything exciting.
And he
Stop.
does his best telephone pole impersonation because he keeps popping up as she passes him.
Don't you think that's distracting? Don't you think that's gonna make her crash? You popping up all the time.
"Bella, you're gonna crash."
Like obviously she's gonna.
Look over here. And she finally was like, "What?" and rolls her bike into a rock.
Hits her head for the second time.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Keep that in mind.
It's okay.
This is the second.
I got it.
Oh,
A boulder. I mean, really, that's like a boulder. That was like.
It wasn't like she smashed her brain, bleeding down the side of her face.
Her brain would be soup. Okay.
Totally. Why were the boulders placed like so perfectly on either side?
Well, usually you don't have a ghost vampire showing up to distract you while you're driving your bike.
True.
But she didn't have a helmet on.
No.
That's all she wrote, guys. I'm sorry. That is it for her.
And
Goodbye.
who came to save her? Who came to save her?
Not Eddie.
Jacob, not Edward. Okay.
Well, does save her mean rip your shirt off to dab the...
Yeah.
I mean...
The audible gasp I heard in my living room
Yes.
when Jacob tore the shirt off. I heard it behind me.
Don't bait me to be one of those girls. Okay?
No,
You
don't.
made a noise. You don't tell you didn't make a noise.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
No, but this is the thing, though.
Enjoy it, girl. Enjoy
Exactly. It's the way he took it off. He could have just like taken it off, still kneeling on the floor to help her. He stood up.
So let me do the
Took it off.
crossarm.
He's
So is it normal? A lot of guys try to take it like from the back and pull, but I feel like
Yeah.
it's stuck on your chin.
Yeah.
So they
That works. The back one pull.
Is it?
That one works.
It works fine. There's
I mean, I'm not as.
I'm still thinking.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
have the physique of that man.
He
so.
was so sweet, though. He was like, I don't know.
He
Let me
dabbed a dirty T-shirt on her head twice, and then she's like, "Let's go," and her hair is just still bleeding.
Well, and
so
she's
you
like-
need to do that.
What did she
Let's
say?
not go to the ER. You have a brain injury.
Yeah.
She's like, you're remarkably beautiful.
Oh, she says, "Yeah, that's right." That's the
He's
time
like,
she said,
you hit your head bad.
He should be like, Bella, one of your eyeballs is dilated.
one of them is dilated.
You clearly have a concussion.
She's bleeding.
Yeah.
Somewhere Jasper's freaking out right now. Because Bella's bleeding. He smells it in Italy.
I just love the back and forth between them. You know?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great. Their chemistry. She has better chemistry with Taylor
And I
Lautner.
will
I do
die
think
on that
so.
hill. And I will die on that
yeah,
hill.
yeah, it makes more sense.
100%
Because
better.
her and Edward, what do they talk about? Literally. Like, it's always something like, I'm
he's
obsessed with
but
you.
he's always looking at her like,
Yeah.
I might have to eat you. I can't just.
yeah.
Talk.
She looks at her.
That's
He
the
looks
whole
at her like a
relationship.
fat kid looks at a cupcake.
They just lie in fields and stare at each other. They don't even have conversations. Her and Edward.
Yeah.
But they have a real vibe going, her and Jacob.
right now. I will say right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my flag as of this moment. I'm Team Jacob.
Oh, wow. Look at that. We're winning
Okay?
people over to
right
the dark
now,
side.
Right now,
Dark side.
I'm Team Jacob.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie does make you
The hairy side
start
of
to
it.
align.
Yes, it does.
With Jacob, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you're like, screw Edward, he's not here.
Yeah.
I think towards the end,
You
it's
know,
more so
Mr.
like
Bicep
you actually have to
is-
choose.
He's
Yeah.
taking off
Yeah.
his t-shirt. What will you take off next? You know?
It's always the question.
Well.
Always the question.
All right, she's back sitting with her friends at lunch. This is supposed to be a big moment for her. And I also love how no one sits at that other table now that the Cullens aren't there. Like,
it's like
no
nobody-
other kids in
No.
that school are like, we can't sit there because they used to. All right, cool.
It smells funny.
Just stop saying out with her friends for no reason.
Right. Just because she's
It's
sad.
sad. Yeah.
She's sad.
She finally goes back over there and they were like, let's all go to the movies. We'll go see Face Punch.
Face punch.
The action flick.
Well, it's not. They aren't all supposed to go. It's this guy who's like
Well, they all get
a
invited.
desperate attempt
Yes.
to try and
Steve.
get Bella
Yeah.
That guy
on a
is
date.
so annoying.
Okay, but
So-
why did Bella say yes? She said yes to the motorcycle guy. And now she says yes to this guy.
Well-
she can't say no. She says no to one person, and that's Jacob.
That's true.
Okay,
Well,
but
didn't
she
she
takes
say-
them for granted, and she wants to say yes to take her mind off of.
Well, didn't she say no to him in the first movie? He tried to get.
I think he tried to get with her in the first
It's like he's a normie and everybody else is a magical monster. So it's
Right.
like
That's
it's
she
showing.
has to date someone that's.
Oh my gosh. Is that her only three choices?
Steve, a werewolf, or a vampire.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Forks is pretty small.
I am Steve.
I was going to say, because it's like, you have the three species. You have the vampires, you have werewolves, and then Jacob is the representation for vampires. I'm sorry, Jacob is the representation for wolves. Edward is vampires. And then this guy is the human
Yes.
race?
Steve
So
saw
you
the
get- it's like-
chicken. Yeah, it's tasty
It's
as hell.
ridiculous.
Think of it as like the dating show, the dating game, right? We're like, Bachelor number one, what's up with you? Well, I can live forever, and I can throw trees, and you could never outrun me.
Yeah.
Bachelor number two, what's your thing?
abs. Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, abs.
Bing,
Yeah.
bing, bing.
And I can
Long,
turn into a
beautiful,
wolf
luscious hair.
and long hair, and I'm a wolf at night.
Yeah.
and I'm super strong. Cool. Bachelor number three,
I can vomit.
I'm Steve.
That's it.
I'm Steve.
I don't like action
I have a weak
movies.
stomach.
I like romance movies.
It would get to Steve, and he'd just be like, "I gotta leave."
Which I have to say, in some movies, the one guy who says, I like romance films, I don't like action movies, the girls would be like,
Yes,
perfect.
Not this guy.
Not
Not
this
in this one, because he's a normie.
fine. He ends up
Stupid
three-wheeling it at the movies with
Humie.
Jacob. So it's literally Steve, Jacob, and Bella at the movies, and they both have their hands out,
Yep.
ready to be held on the arm.
So
And
annoying.
she has
I
to choose.
I had to close my
So
eyes.
annoying.
It was so awkward. I was like, I cannot.
The secondhand embarrassment was too
Yes.
much.
But why did she put herself in the middle? Like, you're in a theater, you pick your seat.
You just gonna wave one of them in?
I mean,
She did that to herself.
what I said before it went to that was like, she's in the middle. I already freaking know. She's just, of course, because she needs the attention. She has to be
Yes.
All right.
person.
I will say this: I want to see the movie Face Punch. Okay, I'm not ashamed to. admit it.
Yes, that
We
looks like a
would
better movie than
totally
this movie.
Totally.
Review Facebook.
100%. Steve gets sick watching Face Punch. And so as he goes out to the bathroom, are you cringing yet, Jenna? As Jacob and her are walking, Jacob goes for the handhold. And
That was awkward.
I got
The
I can't-
handhold.
the biggest ick of my entire life.
But we're friends.
Well, it wasn't even the action of him grabbing her hand. It was her reaction to
it's
it.
her twisting
She
straight
just-
out of it.
No, because they were in the middle of a conversation. She's like, yeah. He grabs her hand. She just, so, sorry.
And just twists
Just
straight
so
out of it.
weird.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
made it way weirder than she needed to.
Don't
I
make it
felt
weird.
so bad for
That's
Jacob.
a very teen thing, though. To
No, but
make
it felt so bad for the guy when you go
Totally.
for the handhold. That's a big, brave. Like you got to summon
is.
the courage up.
Yeah.
It is.
You go for the hand,
I didn't feel bad.
and immediately she's like, "Here, hold my hand for a second, Joe, please."
Wait, but
she's
what do you
like,
think is gonna happen?
And just
Like,
kind
of
of
course
twists out
she's
of
not gonna hold his hand.
Well, she could have just let go. She like twisted out of it. Like she made it weird.
James,
Yes.
why'd you do that to
But
me?
she's going through
know, don't you
something.
feel
Like,
terrible?
Jacob,
I feel terrible
you should
right
know
now.
this.
I know.
Jacob took his time. He took 3 months to slide in.
to
okay?
slide in and go for the handhold,
3 months. Yeah.
right?
Okay, Jacob shouldn't even gone for her. Bella is not worth it.
good
Oh,
enough.
okay.
Such.
Bella is not worth
No.
any of this.
He shoots his shot here on the stairs, and she says, "Stop! You're going to ruin it."
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I would be
I've
like,
already
elaborate.
put you in friends.
Please.
Yeah.
This is the part where she's valid, though. She's like afraid of rejection again. She's afraid of being left alone again. And
Yeah.
Jacob is very sweet in this moment. And he's like, I'm not going to do what Edward did to you. I'm not going to leave you. You could trust me.
You can trust me. I'll never hurt you.
aw.
Also, you're
I'm
18.
loyal.
Like, you have like how many years like to go? Like, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you're not like, you know.
And then this super
38.
strange
Don't
thing-
remind her. She's old already.
Yeah, she doesn't want to think
has
about
gray
that,
hair.
Okay. The weirdest thing happens. Steve comes out. Plot wise, this was crazy because he comes out of the bathroom and he's like, "Oh, I think I should go to the hospital. I'll put you in a hospital." And Jacob gets really angry really fast.
Yeah.
Well, she suddenly activated his testosterone, apparently.
Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Because he started
Being rejected.
He's like, "Oh, you're hot to the touch." Like he feels like you have a fever.
Well, it was a werewolf thing.
It was
He found out later.
It was him activating.
Mm-hmm.
He was the recessive gene was becoming active,
Yep.
which he says only happens when bloodsuckers come to town. So why is it poor Steve coming out of the bathroom and all of a sudden he's like, "You want me to eat you right here?"
I think Steve interrupted what was already happening.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I personally think
He was going through werewolf puberty right
Yes.
there.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
I'm so
I
sorry.
was gonna.
What button is there for that?
Shoot.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
I was literally going to say that.
Okay.
It is werewolf puberty.
That's
I
it's
agree
gotta
with
be
you.
what it is.
100%.
Man,
As
that
for the
poor guy.
vampires,
His body was changing.
As for the vampires, if I'm not mistaken, the next scene, isn't it the dreadlock vampire comes around?
In a minute here. So
Laurent.
Maybe that's what's.
Maybe.
Activating.
And you know that
Activating it?
Victoria's out looking for her.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Jacob
Interesting.
straight
I
up
paid attention.
after the scene where he leaves the movie theater. He straight up Edward Cullens her. Okay.
Yep.
Cuts his hair, gets a tattoo.
She said, "You cut your hair. You got a tattoo."
He apparently had mono. Because this is what's crazy. The jump from him being like, "I'm never ever gonna leave you." Like, sure, Edward said that, but the day before, and then completely just.
Well, then that's what I said. He Edward Cullens her. He
Yeah.
just ghosts her completely, and then when
Yep.
she tracks him down, he's like, "I can't. You can't be by me. I'm too bad. I'll hurt you." It's like straight out of the first movie.
Yes.
When Edward and her
100%.
were getting together.
100%.
yeah, it's
Right?
pretty much copy pasted.
I know I said I'd never hurt you, and this is me keeping that promise. Come back again, and I'll hurt you.
And now she's interested.
She is the worst.
Okay, times of the month? I don't know.
The moment she can't have it,
Yeah.
she wants it.
It's sad because you're so accurate.
It is. I know. Ryan said that something along the lines of what you guys are saying, and I said it's very accurate. Like, unfortunately, I said women just suck.
No, Bella sucks.
Yes.
Women
but-
do not suck.
No, but a lot of it
Bella
does happen
sucks.
for a lot of women, like that will act in this way.
No, and I liked his long hair, but I mean, you gotta admit, with the tattoo,
It was
and
a
the-
glow
God,
up.
he was a
It was a
good-looking man.
Glow
Well,
up.
He
you
was
know
a
what I'm saying?
good-looking man. I will not deny
Walking
that.
around shirtless in the rain.
Too much
Come on.
Pocahontas for me.
Okay, but literally
No.
3 days earlier, he's like, "That's Sam and his cult," and now he's like, "Sam's trying to help me. Don't talk about him like he's got a weird cult or whatever, because I'm part of that cult now. I got to go hang out with my shirtless friends. You got to get out of here, Bella. It's not safe for
We
you.
got
here."
elastic pants because we all get really big.
Yeah.
That's right.
When we run,
That's
turn
right.
into wolves.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it. I'm one of them now. Like it was a week ago.
Yeah.
It's a week.
Dude,
this is very
puberty's
accurate.
hard.
That's super accurate.
It's hard, man.
I felt so bad for her though when she kept calling him and just was making such an effort.
Calling me.
Yeah.
I'll
Now.
go.
So Bella goes to the clearing where her and Eddie sang Snow Patrol to each other. You know? And
her backpack is empty because when she does her high school run, it just bounces. Empty.
empties everything out.
Yeah.
Just a line of math books
Yep.
and chemistry finals, all just behind her.
Yep.
The grass is dead in the clearing, but Laurent is there. Laurent, sorry.
Laurent.
Whatever. And he was one of the 3 evil vampires from the first movie. The blondie got killed at the end.
Yep.
But Victoria and the Jamaican one is still here, and he shows up, and he's like, "Victoria's coming from you. She's mad. She's mad about her boyfriend or whatever."
Yeah.
And she's like, I think I'm just going to kill you now anyway. And just
Edward's not here to protect you.
Edward's
Is
not
he?
here to protect you. Lie to him, Bella.
Lie
And she
better.
Lie better.
That was hilarious.
I feel like I need that later in my life at some point.
He's in my backpack. No, Bella. Lie. That was way worse.
I thought he wanted her to say that she was a vampire already.
Right.
But
Something.
I guess they would have smelled it.
Right.
I don't know.
Yes.
Lie better.
Something that was.
Do it better. Do it
Seriously.
better.
He's in my backpack is crazy.
He is here.
Yeah.
No, lie better.
Yeah.
He's in my backpack right now.
Look behind you.
Look behind you. No, Bella. Don't. What are you doing?
She laughed so hard she hit the mic.
All right. Well, the wolf squad shows up.
Yeah.
Just in time.
CGI wolf squad.
The cartoon wolves show up.
I think she puts her hands right in his abs during this one. I think.
Yeah.
She goes over. One of the wolves walks past her. It's supposed to be Jacob. I think he's like, "What's up? We're gonna go kill
The
this guy."
brown ones, yeah.
The brown one's like, "We're gonna go kill this
brown
guy."
eyes.
They chase Laurent off, and she leaves. The next night, Jacob, who just was a total a-hole to her.
Can I
Please
take this one? He goes to her room
Yeah.
to tell her he can't tell her anything.
Yep. If
Listen, I'm
you
here.
knew.
I'm here.
He threw the rocks.
Because I have to get your attention. I'm going to jump in your room and listen. Listen to me carefully.
Shirtless.
I can't tell you anything. I really wanna, but I can't. So I'm gone.
You have to remember. Also, I don't own any more shirts. They've all.
Right. Stare hard at my nipples as you try very hard to remember.
We're gonna stand really close together.
This is when she's like, "Let me touch your abs and see if that helps me
Right.
remember."
And
She
also,
punches him. She's like,
and then he says, "You have no idea how tight I'm wound." About how anxious he is, but it seems like what they meant.
He meant something else, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, "But I can't do anything about
Yeah.
that."
Just remember, it'll make it so much easier.
Will scraping your 8-pack help? I'll try that.
And then they
I'm
have
just
a hug
petting
again.
you. She's literally petting him.
That's his ab.
And then they just keep hugging. Like, that's all they freaking.
That's
all they do.
I want to hug
you
by-
are.
I want to hug by him though. He's a hell of a hugger.
He is a good
hell of a
hugger.
Remember.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that man, when he hugs you, he hugs you.
All right. He says, "I'd run away with you,
I don't
but
want a hug from him.
I'd run away with you, but I can't." And he jumps out the window, lands on his feet. I'm like, "Bella, you know how to pick him."
Yeah, how do you
girl.
not know at this point? You've seen a huge wolf, okay, right? You just saw him
Yeah.
jump up the tree and then back out out of your house without a problem.
This gets
Puberty is
You can
crazy,
lift up
man.
bikes.
Puberty is crazy.
I forgot that happened.
Us guys, that's how it was.
I used to be able to jump off a house.
We
and be
we had a
fine.
high pitched voice, then we dropped, and then we could do backflips into our room.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Right.
Not anymore though.
I could leap through the air in midair, explode my clothes off of my body, which is what it's about to happen here.
Yes.
I wouldn't
Put your
change
thumb
it
in
to
your
a-
mouth and blow
Yeah,
it. It just
exactly.
goes-
That's what happens. So this, I love this scene. She goes to Jake's house the next day, and he's sleeping. The one scene his father appears in.
Yeah.
He was in more of the movie last night.
Yep.
He's not in. She just blows past him. He's in his
She
sleep.
bird dogs him.
Yeah, bird dog.
Like,
Right
you're in a
past him.
wheelchair. I got this.
I'm just gonna
Whatever.
step
I'll move
around
that.
you.
That was
It's the guy
that was
from
rude.
Yellowstone.
It's exactly who it is. Yeah, Rainwater from Yellowstone.
Yep.
Anyway, his cult friends show up because he's asleep, and one of them mouths off to Bella, and she slaps him in the face.
She should have done that to Edward, okay?
Oh, that's pretty good. See what happened?
Jesus.
She should have done. Yeah, you're like, why didn't you do that to Edward?
No, you can slap this man you don't even know, but
Right.
not Edward.
He changes into a wolf right in front of her, and I needed his friends to be like, "Well, great job.
Cat's out of the bag now.
That's that, I guess, dude." And then here comes Jacob, jumps midair, clothes explode
Yep.
as
couldn't.
he changes into a wolf.
It was so like, I'm the alpha. Like, I'm going to like protect.
Okay, that scene though is actually quite iconic because that was the trailer.
Was it really?
It was part of the trailer.
yeah, I think
and
I
you're
remember
like,
that.
this is gonna be amazing, and we're
Yes.
gonna
Oh my
be
gosh.
Team
But
Jacob.
that's the problem, Lauren, is it's like this is gonna be making these two giant wolves start rolling around and fighting, and then the weirdest thing happens. The rest of them are like, let's just go to her house and
Yes.
and they all walk away.
play it off.
They
Like,
go
no
over
big
to
deal.
Sam's fiance's house, and about 3 minutes later,
Have some muffins.
3
And
minutes
those
later,
were good looking muffins.
Muffin?
They were good.
they were fine. 3 minutes later, Jacob and the guy he was just fighting with just come rolling in, palling around,
They made
Yeah.
up.
Well, they worked it out.
and Jacob's got a shirt on.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
only time he has a shirt on in the movie is when it doesn't make sense for him to have a shirt on.
100%. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
It was
I don't
stuck
think
in
you
his
shoulda.
dream catcher.
After they got done fighting in the woods, he went back like, hold on, I got to get a shirt. He never has to get a shirt. He doesn't care.
You should not have a shirt the entire movie.
I mean, I don't want him to. I'm glad he had a shirt
I-
on.
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
He's a good hugger.
I agree with you.
He's a good hugger.
Jacob's like, we got to talk. Takes her for a walk on the beach because he can't have important conversations in the forest. That's Eddie's thing.
Yep. He's the beach
Okay?
guy.
He's got to talk on the beach with her.
Yep. Good
So-
call. I didn't catch that.
And
but
she's
good call.
straight up like, so you're a werewolf. That's cool, I guess.
Didn't he say like it's not a lifestyle choice?
She wants him to quit.
You're not the first monster.
Yeah, just walk away.
Yeah, I was born this way.
Can I?
You kill people, Jacob.
Yeah.
Only vampires.
Yeah.
Bull crap, vampires.
He was like your precious Cullens and like saying all this stuff.
We can't
to
touch
honor.
those because it's one thing.
She takes it real well.
It's a little off subject. My apologies. I just want to
please.
question. What? So James, this is like.
I
Okay.
can't with this movie.
I know. What's with the appeal of running away?
Her running
Of
from her?
like
It's kind of a trope in these movies.
it's kind of a trope in these movies and such. But what is the appeal of like just run away with me, or I'm gonna run away from this.
We'll run away together.
You're
Run away
escaping
together.
your current. Like it's like, I mean, you get to go with this guy.
Especially if you're in high school and you just hear like Bueller, and you're in school. Meanwhile, there's like amazing romance to be had. I suppose.
Exactly.
Is it the whole like green? The grass is greener and
Yes.
that type
Yes.
of thing.
I think you also get to see if they care about you enough to where they'd be willing to.
Would you run away with me?
Would you?
Yes. Well, I don't really want to. I just want to see.
I changed my mind.
Two wolves just fought over me, so who cares?
Which in the moment she tells him, like she drags it out. Like you can tell she doesn't actually want to go, but she'll say the right thing.
Right.
She wants to stay in Fork.
Yes.
Plural.
Fork.
Plural. Yeah.
It's fork.
Not just one.
She wants, to
She
stay,
wouldn't say if there was just one fork.
What happens when you spoons?
she wants to stay in Forks in case freaking Edward.
Edward,
comes
that's
back.
right.
Yeah.
Bella decides she needs to see Eddie again, and so she has to cliff dive. And he does, in fact, show up when she's on the edge of the cliff. It's it's intercut with Victoria being chased by the wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They chase her into the water. Then Bella cliff dives. Bella, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. This is reckless. There's water down there,
I
Bella.
wish she like was already tipping down with her.
Like as she's,
going down.
as she's falling.
Yes.
Bella, this was dumb.
What?
Bella, stop running.
He does. His ghost swims in the water with her.
I hated that.
When
I
she
hated
gets
that.
racked into the rocks and is unconscious, she's just floating, and Eddie's just upside down floating next to her.
Why?
Love the scene. Took me back. I was there for all the music and all the things.
Jen and I were both like, "What movie are we watching right now?" When it's just his upside down ghost going, "I can't swim."
Like
I'm
an
a
hour
ghost."
in at this point, just like I'm over it.
They just
I'm over
floated
it.
through.
So meanwhile, he's in an Italian cafe with San Pellegrino, like, ugh.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. By the way, this is concussion number 3.
It is. Yeah. Yep.
Her brain is.
There's a
oosh.
vampire shark swimming towards her.
Yes.
Jacob pulls her out and is able to save her life by kissing her and touching her boobs.
Right.
Okay?
That is
What
medicine.
do you mean? When did that happen?
He pulls her out.
CPR.
Yes.
He kisses her, and he was pushing all over her chest.
All over.
okay, so
CPR
yeah.
my ass.
And hardly any
Push,
water
push,
came out of that
squeeze.
of her mouth,
Push,
and that
push,
would not
squeeze.
that was not realistic at all.
Push.
Terrible.
She gets it.
Get it? It's medicine.
Terrible.
That's why it works. Okay?
Yeah, okay, well, so who saved her again and who didn't? Who didn't? Who wasn't there?
Edward tried to save her. His ghost can't touch her boobs.
Yeah.
He's like, he shows up, Jacob, don't do it.
Yeah. Stop. Stop
We
touching the boobs,
tackled the
Jacob.
real issues here. On the other hand, the CPR was very slow. It was not to stay alive. It was just like,
No. It was to like
That was massaging.
the sounds of silence is what they were
yeah,
doing.
hello,
Caressing
your
CPR.
shirt, my old friends. I've come to look at them.
A vision softly creeping. Yeah.
Love your chest while I'm sleeping.
I noticed that, like, did you notice that, not during
And
that
the
part?
vision
Yes, please.
of your boobs will be with me.
Also, what boobs?
For eternity.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
What boobs? She didn't like have actual boobs.
Oh, I know.
So,
I meant to ask you because
But which makes it more accessible for teens, I suppose.
Yes, sure.
I guess.
But less enjoyable.
So I remember now, not during the CPR part, but a lot of times she does like this pigeon neck thing, which is like, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
does it all the time.
In the hair. Yeah. I know.
Cool.
I know.
Cool,
I know.
cool.
I know. She's the worst.
Also,
She's the worst.
Endpoint.
are her eyebrows different in this movie? Because I was looking at them like half of the time she was on screen, I just couldn't.
She's been smacked in the face so many times. Her eyebrows
all
are
the
now screwed
concussions,
up.
it knocked one of
they
them
don't
sideways.
look bad. I just
Yeah, it's kind of a Luke Skywalker
There you
thing
go.
after Mark Hamill comes back from the accident.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They have this very sweet conversation, Jacob and her, on the truck ride back, and she says to him, "I'll tell you every day how special you are." This is literally one of the
Okay.
Bella, you suck. Don't say these things to this guy that you know wants to get with you.
Yep,
And you have
it's
no intention
mean.
of ever doing doing
leading this man on.
Yes.
My favorite thing that Jacob says, and this might be cringy, is she's freezing in the passenger seat. And he's like, well, it's at like 180 degrees over here.
Over here. Smooth.
He
It was
ate
smooth.
with that.
He did.
He was smooth.
Right?
He's like, hey, baby.
I
mean, it's really.
Edward would have been like,
here.
what do you need?
And she's like, you're so
I
warm.
turn the heater on. It doesn't work.
Okay, I guess.
Also, why
gotta
are the
test it.
guys always driving the trucks for her? Like, it's her truck. Like, I get
mean,
the whole, like...
Well, she
I mean,
did
that's
just
nice.
drown,
Like, I
but-
mean, gentlemen, that's great. Like, to this day, Ryan still gets the door for me. Like, I don't care where we are. Like, parents,
Jeez.
whatever.
You don't have 3 concussions and can't drive anymore.
She
You
just
did it.
drowned.
Just drowned.
She just drowned. Hit her head,
Jacob
just drowned.
Jacob been like, I'm glad I resuscitated you. Drive.
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, so I went from loving Jacob to hating Jacob to loving Jacob again.
Yeah, and after she says that sweet thing to him, he goes in for the kiss and she denies it again.
Yes.
She's like,
This is why I hate
nope.
Bella. You ruined it. You literally.
She is the worst.
Yep.
That was such an awkward, like...
Yeah.
That was so cat-like.
It was.
Yeah, and she was totally feeding into it. So it's like, why wouldn't you? It doesn't really make
Right.
sense.
So it's not like I'm, depending on how the situation is, it could be not the right moment or what, but it felt like for Jacob, I understand why he would think it was the right moment
Yes.
to try to get the kiss.
Yeah.
And then be totally confused when she's like, gives him the forehead or whatever. It
Right.
was.
Awkward side
Yeah.
snuggle.
Right.
Thing.
Right.
sure.
Exactly.
yeah.
Bella runs inside because Alice is at her house. Alice Cullen has showed up at her house. Because Alice thought that Bella was dead because she saw her in a premonition jumping off of a cliff, but didn't see the entire premonition. Like she didn't skip to the end.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's in there, shocked that Bella's alive, but that's why she came out here. Jacob has to come in and like chest thump in front of the vampire, right? To be just like, well, just so you know, we're here to protect her against vampires. And she's like, I'm not gonna hurt her.
Okay, but it was kind of sweet though. He was like, I had to come back and make sure you were okay.
Yes.
Right. And so Alice steps outside, be like, I'll let you guys talk for a minute.
I will say though, there is we cannot skip the best line in this entire movie.
Oh, I don't want to.
It's Alice delivers the best line ever.
What is it?
She's sitting on the couch with Bella, and she says, I have never met anyone more prone to life-threatening idiocy. And I just stood up. I was like, yes.
She's talking about Bella,
Yeah,
right?
she's
Bella,
talking
yeah.
about Bella. She's
Yes.
talking to Bella.
She
It's
owned
like,
her.
you
yeah.
are a moron.
That's a very fancy way to say you're dumb. Yeah. 100%.
Man, I love Alice.
That's the best. No,
love
for
Alice.
sure.
Yeah,
I
but-
do. She's slightly annoying, though, to me in the second movie.
Is she really?
Well, she's nice. And, like, by the end of the movie, I'm like... I told Ryan, I was like, she's so nice, I'm annoyed by her.
They changed her hair. It was weird.
She's
They
just...
did.
I like her.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm with you. I got more to say about Alice in a little bit. Jacob, after Alice leaves, be like, I'll give you some time. Jacob tries to kiss her again. And
Again.
this time it's about to happen. Bella's going to
Yeah,
kiss
she
him.
didn't pull away this time.
This time Bella's
gonna
going to kiss him and the phone rings when like his lip barely
Right.
touches hers.
Yep, one little lip above the...
Ring. And I'm like,
Convenient.
I'm gripping my
Edward
my
knew what exactly one
Freak you. Come on. Yeah.
because I'm all in with Jacob at this point in the movie, and Jacob answers Bella's phone.
Why?
Swan residence. Who knows? Oh, I know why.
No reason.
Oh, yeah. Good call, James. Good call.
He answers the phone, and all you hear him say is, he's not here right now. He's preparing a funeral. Click. Then the plot device herself runs in because she can see the future and is the only reason the plot moves forward. Mm-hmm. We have to go to Italy because Edward thought you were dead, and now he's going to expose himself in public or something like
Gonna
that.
try to kill himself.
Wait.
Okay, right?
Yes,
Sure.
kind of like,
Right.
yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
I would phrase it differently, but yes.
And then Bella's like, who was that?
Yeah.
Was that Edward? Why did you let me talk to him? He didn't ask for you.
Yes.
Jacob.
I mean, she had 3 concussions.
I know, but
How could
come
she answer
on,
the phone?
dude? When I was with Jacob until he's like, well, he didn't ask for you. Like, you know damn well, Jacob, who that phone call was for, and it wasn't Charlie. Okay? Come on, man.
He was done.
That was it.
Charlie was
That was
like,
it.
that's
Okay,
it, man.
but Edward just had to ruin their moment. He probably was watching her,
He
and
knew
he
it.
probably saw
Yeah.
what was happening.
Give my
So
phone.
he got the phone.
Where's my phone?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna kill myself because I Just yeah, literally.
Pick up.
Is Charlie there?
Charlie.
Shoot, I don't want to.
No, and he knew that him going to see the other vampires would make Bella go get him. He is a manipulative.
All right.
No.
A-hole?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say? All right.
Yeah.
Say it.
But Jacob went from the lips touching to just about kiss to being donezo at that point.
So what is Edward doing all this time? Like
Sipping
waiting?
macchiatos.
Yeah.
He was on like a
Learning
boat.
how to make pasta?
He was on a boat in that one scene where they cut.
I'm on a boat.
I don't even know.
Right.
Take a good.
It kind of looks like a little apartment-y.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But not in the sun, right?
no.
No.
Okay.
Cut to the fastest trip to Italy in cinematic history.
I don't know how they
Yeah.
got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do not skip the fact that Jacob literally begged her to stay,
Yes.
and she said, "Nah."
No. Yeah.
No,
and
'cause
then
he's done after he.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go see my boyfriend or ex-boyfriend that treated me like junk and just deserted me for
Yes.
no reason.
Yeah.
no reason.
Over you, who's
And he
been
should
nice
have
to me.
said, I've never seen anyone so prone to idiocy. Right there.
Okay, but they have the connection of a lifetime here.
Jeez. Oh, come on. Holy hell.
All right.
Can you hear my eyes roll back in my head?
It's like boggle. Like
Nicole,
this
you've
when
gone-
you shake it around.
You've gone to Italy.
I have.
How long did that take you?
More
Did
than
you
10
need-
minutes. Yeah.
Did you need
Yeah.
a passport? Because I don't think Bella had one.
Well, she's got the vampire friends. They just go.
She zoomed across the
Yes.
water on her piggy.
Stole a car, I think, too.
Drove that across the ocean.
Yeah. I looked up and I went, what did I miss?
Oh, they're in Italy. They're driving up to some festival that celebrates how all the vampires are gone. And he's going to choose this. This is the dream she had with all the people in the red cloaks or whatever.
Yep.
And she drives up to as far as she can go with the police blockade. And then she turns and she goes, "Run, Bella! Scream his name!
Yes.
He's under the clock tower.
Yes.
I'll just run in whatever direction.
I'll go somewhere else.
Just guess.
Love will guide me.
Hope that there's a clock tower here somewhere. You know, she's running.
I thought she was running through Gymkhana.
That's what it looked like. She's got to get to the pommel horse and start to have to
Yep.
kick
Yep.
the people off of her.
That's what I was thinking.
As they all start, all the
monk
vampires
with
start
the-
coming.
no,
The assless
assless monk?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Eddie, meanwhile, is walking out from underneath this tower, this clock tower, and he takes off his shirt. And all I could think of is, this must be what Michael Jackson looked like. Like, bro
Yeah.
was just, it looked gross. I'm
Now-
sorry. He's supposed to be attractive physically, because when he took his stuff off, he looked like
It's not.
a,
It's more about the connection
okay.
than the physical.
It's like this.
In the first movie, I thought he was attractive. Like, in the first movie, I
Yeah.
was like, he's cute. Like, I like Robert Pattinson.
I mean, he looks like he weighs, he looks like he's a POW.
No, actually.
From I'm just saying.
yeah, no, he is very thin. Like where it's
Okay.
like get some muscle. Like eat a cheeseburger, please.
He had,
Something.
Maybe
he had to
two.
glow down for sure, and Jacob
Right,
had to
a
glow up.
That's what I'm saying. When they went in the opposite direction physically.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm not off.
But James,
Attractive.
it's that rock star.
Is that what it is?
doesn't? Yeah, they can't. You know, they can have a weird look to them.
How does
but
he hold
it's-
his pants up? There's no hips. There's nothing. It's just
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, they look like tweed pants that
be
probably
fair.
had suspenders. From back in the day.
tailoring.
He is like 109.
He's a vampire. He's got a lot of
they're
weird.
hugging him in all the right places.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He starts to sparkle, but Bella tackles him. This is when she says, "You have to move. Open your eyes. Look at me. I'm alive. We have to move."
Hey,
Is this
that's
heaven?
from the start of the movie?
Yeah, it was. Is this heaven? He says.
That's
Yeah.
what he said.
But again, his back, chest, and neck were not made up with any
No.
whiteness.
No,
so I
he
don't
looked
know.
regular colored.
Yeah, which is fine. It's
They
just
only ever
confusing.
wanted to do the vampire makeup on his head.
They ran out of budget.
And that's it. Still.
Yeah.
He says, now they go back underneath and he's not sparkling anymore. And you're everything to me. I lied about not wanting you. I was just kidding. Ha 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 ha. Ha.
yeah. Now that you don't have me, you miss me. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strikes again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Dakota Fanning and the fancy vampires are
They're good.
pissed off.
They're mad.
Yes, they
Because I mean, Edward was first trying to kill himself.
Well, they wouldn't do it.
Like oh, you have some special skills, so we can't get rid
For
of you
what?
right now.
He had to
Which
expose
I don't know what it
himself.
is.
I never say.
So he was going to expose himself to children
To force them to kill him.
To force them, yeah.
So they bring him in front of Michael Sheen, Aro.
Awesome, by the way.
I love Michael Sheen. he ate. Okay.
Absolutely.
The fancy
Oh, I
vampire,
get
the
it.
main guy.
Vampire. That's
Yeah,
joke. I
right.
get it.
Yeah, it's
good.
Nice.
Did you think he was good? The main fancy vampire that did all the talking.
He was okay.
Oh wow.
His posture was good.
I thought he was great.
I love his
totally
aura.
sold it as a vampire.
I loved his aura.
He can read thoughts by touching people, and so
He can download his download speeds.
is
I
on his
did
hands
not
is ridiculous.
like the way he would touch people's hands, though. Like he said he could do it just one touch, but he chose
This bandwidth
just
to be
gigabytes per second.
his upload speed.
I'm going to make a hamburger with our hands.
25 gigs a second.
There we go.
It's crazy.
I got it.
Whole life. That's a lot of gigs. Your whole life downloaded into a file would be humongous.
Yeah, he's
Right?
got a lot of RAM.
A lot of RAM.
Ram Lang. Whoa, Black Betty. Ram.
But he can't read Bella's thoughts. She's immune to his powers. So he's like,
Yes.
so I want to see if she's immune to other vampire powers. Dakota Fanning, pain, and Edward just
Continue.
starts writhing in pain.
Yeah. Yep.
That actually was scary. Dakota
Yes.
was the only vampire in the movie I was afraid of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, oh damn, and then she stops and then does it to Bella, and then Michael Sheen starts laughing at Dakota
Yeah.
because it doesn't do anything to Bella.
The vampire on the left's just sitting in the chair.
Yeah, just
He was
Pretty-
over it. Yeah.
just
he's like, I don't want to
been
be
doing
here.
this too long.
So
I have a feeling where you're going with this.
So, what is Bella's power? Bella's power is to block vampire powers.
No.
Wait a minute. Way back in the beginning of this movie, Jasper controlled her with his emotional powers. What is going
How?
on? Is this
Okay, that's actually so embarrassing.
bad writing, or is there something special about Jacob?
Or
It's the super vampire.
Jasper, you mean?
Jasper, sorry. I said
that's
Jacob.
right.
My apologies.
Do we know there's nothing special about Jake?
There's no
Oh, yeah.
his abs.
We know it's bad
And he's a
writing.
hugger. Jasper,
I'm gonna go on a limb here and pin my bet on bad writing. I don't know. I feel like that's probably
Because that is
Actually,
a
how do you miss
glaring,
that? That's great.
a
300 points.
glaring
Yes.
issue with this.
Jay.
huge. Huge. Well done, Joe. Well
Yep.
done.
Thank you. I picked it up on my second watch.
That's
I was like,
I
wait
didn't
a
pick it up at
minute.
all. I only watched it
I
once.
cannot believe you watched it twice
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
same day, or was it?
All between yesterday and today.
After this, one of the other fancy vampires was like, "Look, we got this other person's bringing our snacks in a few minutes. Like, we got to get this over." She's like, "All right, Felix, go on, Boris, chop his head off." Right? Like that's basically what it was.
Okay. I know I just got done talking and I don't want to take
No,
up
it's
any more
fine.
space, but there's another one here. Bella's the worst. She's the worst. She is
How do you
the
feel?
worst. She literally, she's like, I want to be a vampire. Oh my God, I just want to be a
Change me.
vampire. Change me. As an entire tour group is led to their deaths
Yep.
with
Yes.
children. She looks back once. Okay, I'll still be a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That shouldn't have gave her the ick a little bit. Or should have gave her the ick a little bit. Like,
Well, the Cullens were like the righteous vampires.
I guess.
She didn't want to be one of those.
but maybe
Suck
like
it.
throw a
Literally.
hand signal or something out to these kiddos and be like, "Don't go in there.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Yeah.
Come back over this way."
Son of a-
I'm sorry.
All right,
Don't go.
I'm done.
Yeah. But
Vampires.
the Cullens promised to make Bella a
Right.
vampire, pretty much.
Well, what happens is if Felix tries to kill her and Eddie goes crazy trying to protect her, but it gets choke slammed hard.
Yep.
And they're about to kill him. His vampire face is cracking or whatever. And that's where Bella's like, "No, kill me instead."
Yeah.
And Michael Sheen is so touched
Interesting.
that a human would give his life for a soulless monster. You don't know anything about his soul. His soul is more pure than whatever stupid line she says.
Snow or
Snow, whoever, whatever. And they're so
Informer.
impressed that this human was going to do that. They allow her to live, and on the condition that she herself is changed into a vampire.
and they're like, I'll do it. And they're like, cool, okay, go ahead.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Or
look
they
at-
could have just done it right there.
just let us know whenever it happens.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's
Just
fine.
Send me
Not
a message.
only-
next 6 months, whatever.
This. Not only does it not happen,
Right?
okay, changing her into a vampire, which was a huge plot point in the first movie. They ended on that point at the prom.
Yeah.
And within 10 minutes of this movie starting, she brings it up throughout the whole thing, only for me to find out that she doesn't actually become a vampire until the end of the fourth movie.
Actually?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Hate to spoil.
That's
But I looked
how
ahead a little bit.
freaking long it takes, even at this point where they're already saying this has to happen right now. It takes 2 more movies.
But that lines up because how many different scenes in this movie were they like lip to lip, but then like, oh, I can't. I can't. I can't believe they did it that soon. To be honest,
She's so desperate.
Crazy.
She gaslights Edward
Yep.
and goes around him to his family and puts it to a vote.
Right, because he still won't change her.
Yeah.
Right. They go back. They're back to the bedroom, sweet talk, kiss, kiss. Can't live without you, mum, mum, mum. And
I can't do it alone. Please just wait 5 years. That's too long. And then it's 3.
Can I get a 5-5? Can I get a 2? How to get so?
Bella makes the Cullens vote. Like, why did they get a say? Whatever.
Yep.
But they all vote yes,
Except for one.
except for one.
Rosalie.
Oh, what's her name? Rosalie does.
Why does she have a problem? We'll never know.
I wish someone
She
would have
said
voted no.
she wished,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because she had never wished that life for herself.
She's not a pure blood.
We're so close to the end, guys.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just.
3 hours.
I want to cross this finish line. As they leave, stop if you have something to say. As they leave, Jacob shows up, and Eddie thanks him for keeping Bella safe. Right?
Yep.
He's here because he wants to talk to
Frick
you.
you.
Here's
What do you mean? Thanks for keeping her safe? Yeah, okay. They had way more of a connection than that. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's just,
Wasn't for you.
it wasn't for you. Exactly.
And he says,
Exactly.
I'm here to tell you that if you bite her, the truce is over. Right? And Bella's
Yep.
like, I want it. Whatever. Anyway. She walks up to Jacob. This is the point where I just wanted to. I would never condone violence, but I wanted to punch her in the face. Jake, I love you.
Oh my God.
So please don't make me choose, because it'll be him. It was always him. Sad wolf runs away. She
The
sucks,
tear
man.
in his eye. Like,
Honestly.
that was a very moving scene.
Yes.
She sucks.
She sucks.
Yeah.
Jacob, you dodged a bullet, bro. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
You
but it
dodged
probably
a huge
hurts,
bullet.
though.
Oh, it still hurts. But in the end, it's fine.
Yeah, it's for the better.
And then Eddie gives her his one condition, and then it's forever, he says.
Cliff dive.
What is it?
Oh, sorry.
Marry me, Bella. End of the movie.
And then you hear Jenna's at the end. The sound she made when Jacob took his shirt off. Cut the black.
Wow, guys. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I can't believe I made it through.
The ending
did.
sucks.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you know what's going to happen because, like, if you read the books, obviously they're way better than the movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's so stupid because it's like if she had a brain, she would think through, like, let's get married, plan out a whole charade of that. then
Sure.
change
Yeah.
her. Like, it's not that hard. Like, just think it through.
Out of all the movies, which one's your favorite?
Ooh.
Okay, honestly, I don't remember 3 at all.
Ooh, can't wait to do that one.
The 4th one is pretty good.
Okay.
It really is because it comes full circle.
Okay. Because I'm
That's the
New
last one.
Moon.
I'm
is
in it for the
probably-
long
I
haul
probably
now.
hate New Moon the most.
You hate New Moon the most
Okay.
More than the first one.
out of all
The first
of
one's
them?
good in a really strange way. I don't know. Like, it grows on you. I mean, I also own these, and I've seen these like literally a million times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a lot of awards to get through and a lot of people participating with us today. So we're going to start
Thank
getting
you.
straight into this. But before we do, obviously we got to recast this movie. And as I'm looking at Jenna's Twilight shirt here and I see all these floating heads, I can't help but imagine what would this movie be like if that floating head right next to Bella was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What?
Instead. I mean, he's got the angular
This is
features.
such a great
does.
idea.
Right?
This is such an original idea.
I know. We've never thought to do this before. But what if we could do this now? What if, listen to me, Bella, I don't like you anymore. You have to go away now.
Get to the chopper.
It's going to be like I never existed. And if you're going to follow me, stop it. Okay?
Quick whining.
And then at the end, I was just kidding. Okay, I love you. One condition and then forever. Feel my muscles, okay? Feel it when I flex them like this. You see this? You like it? Okay, let's get married. Like, it would be awesome
Credit.
if he was Edward Cullen and she tried to run and tackle him when he was going to be sparkly and she just bounced off of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like.
What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd love to see Jasper.
I was going to say Jasper.
It's just like,
Sorry.
the blood.
Happy birthday, Bella.
His hands in his pants just flexing so hard.
Yeah, that'd be
Later
awesome.
hosen. Bing, bing.
And what would the Arnold Schwarzenegger wolf look like? Okay, just be like bigger than all the other wolves. Like these
Be
wolves.
like Kojo.
That's right. That's right. These wolves, they don't have deltoids, but my wolf does. It's get the pecs. It's crazy.
I mean, it'd be great if he was Edward too, because of all those little like ghosts or visions or whatever the freak they are.
Bella, stop it.
Stop seeking the
That's
adrenaline.
right. And Neil Calford says him as Aro, the main fancy vampire. Come on, wearing that outfit with that ridiculous hair. Nearly everyone is thin and wiry except for him, which is why he's the ruler. Plus, I've seen all these movies. Some of the stuff the character does in later movies would be hilarious. That would be awesome. Matt Masick says, Arnold can't make this movie, but how about Wesley Snipes let Blade loose?
Yes.
Kill all these stupid vampires. In all seriousness, make him one of the wolf pack, right? Imagine the size of the werewolf when Arnie transforms. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It'd be Ralph from Rampage. It'd be freaking fantastic. Josh Bowman says, firstly, I'm excited to be able to be a patron.
Hey, welcome back.
Doubly
Josh.
pumped to be taking part in this.
Glad you're here.
Put Arnold in as Felix, a.k.a. the dude who bodies Edward with a series of most excellent choke slams.
Yes.
And a pun after he suck on this. Thanks for coming. God, lick the floor, Edward.
Awesome.
Poetry in them. I love when people write the one-liners.
Yes.
It's awesome. Yeah. Craig Soto, one of our OGs, writing in, says, Sydney and I would love, because his wife joined him for this. Awesome.
Lovely.
We'd love to see him playing Jacob, running around with his shirt off all the time. Totally makes sense for him. Hearing him say, Bella, where have you been, Loca? Would be instantly so funny.
We didn't even touch on that. I love that quote. Love that.
Tom Caldwell says, Bella's dad, Charlie. I totally see his dad role in Commando making a comeback. Billy, you grounded for life. Be awesome. Josh Whitehouse, the Hammer, says, while I wouldn't wish a million years to do this to poor Arnie and cast him in this dredge, I know he could raise it up a bit. So let's cast him as dad. Just, if anything, have him come in Bella's room saying, after the many days of screaming and crying, it's just, stop it.
Stop whining.
Stop whining.
Yep.
I'm going to get around the wipey little tushy anymore.
Look at this.
Look at this. I love this.
With a Word document.
Is that Comic Sans?
Yeah, but Sean said he hated it so much. Look at this. He says, personally, I think they're all trash, so I let my wife do my awards. So this isn't even Sean. This is Sean's wife, okay?
Okay.
Sean McHugh's wife says, I hate to say it, but he would be a great Aro. Again, Michael Sheen's part. However, I don't want Michael Sheen to not be in it, but doing it would be hilarious. Listen, if you touch me, I could tell you everything about your whole life.
At 5 years old, you
skipped leg day.
you pulled the dog's tail.
That's right. All right, guys. How about some real awards?
Got it.
We're gonna run right to it here because we got time to move forward, and it's the Will Patton Award for Intensity as our first award. And there's been some award changes, which I'll tell you guys when we get up there. But it's enough to say for this one will never change. It's the actor that was going the hardest for their role. Let's get it.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That's right.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
All
I
right.
will always love that line.
Okay, so here we go. Neil Calford. I think this is Neil. Yeah, but it's Neil Calford kicking us off. And he says, Kristen Stewart.
Ooh.
I know in the first one I gave her the trash can award, which she totally deserved. But during this movie, she actually displayed emotions. She did. Don't get me wrong, she's awful as this character, but at least this time she seemed like she was trying. She must have taken acting lessons or made a wish on a star to be a real person. Her voiceovers still suck, though. All right, Jenna, who's your nominee for Will Patton?
So it's most intense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jasper.
Jasper.
Obviously.
I love that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Matt Masick says this one was tough. I bounced around. I thought about Ed Gagahalala as Laurent for the scene in the woods. Also Dakota Fanning. Ultimately, I'm going to land on Taylor Lautner. He was rough at first until he became a werewolf. Then he kicked up the intensity. His end scene with him, Bella, and Edward is ultimately what sealed it for me. Was he good? Not really, but damn if he wasn't intense. All right, Matt, I don't hate that pick.
No.
But we got 3 votes for 3 different people right now, Nicole, so it's anybody's game.
So I have 3 bouncing around my head.
Yeah.
2 are Laurent, and then the girl who lost her the Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah. So those two, and then Taylor Lautner as well. So that's really crazy. That's timing.
That's interesting.
And I know that again, Victoria. What's her name? I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Like every time she was like, "I'm coming to get you." So it's kind of. Did Laurent have crazy contacts in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe that made me think he was being more intense, but I think the contacts win, so I'm crossing him off. Okay, and then
What was the context of it?
the
You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here.
Joseph. Sorry.
Sorry, I apologize. Go ahead.
So if I'm going between those two, Taylor.
Lautner gets us
I did
right.
it.
The first
I
person
did
to
it.
get 2
That
votes.
was rough.
I did it.
You got through it.
I love it. Josh Bowman says, I'm giving this award to the greatest and 100% with no need for fact-checking Native American actor of our time, Taylor Lautner. The guy wins this award for just flawlessly taking off his shirt for no reason multiple times through the movie, and me completely buying that was the only problem at hand that could be resolved. He was trying his hardest the whole time to bring forth the edgy werelord that I can't help but throw his hat into the ring. All right, Josh. Lauren, who's your vote for the Will Patton Award for intensity?
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota
Yeah.
Fanning.
Yep.
Yes.
Like with her in the elevator scene,
Oh my god, the elevator scene is so stupid.
it didn't need to have it. It didn't need to be there.
Never
Got
been
it.
in there. It's bugged me
Got
since
it.
the first time I've seen it.
100%. Craig Soto says, I'm giving this to the Will Patton to Taylor Lautner. He looked the part. He had a great range of emotion and character development. You can tell he genuinely cared for Bella and wanted to protect her. I'm so glad they got rid of his wig to show his glow up. Yeah, he hated the long hair wig, Taylor did.
Oh.
He hated it. So that was his actual haircut when they just took it off of him. Yeah, much, much better.
Nice.
Joe, you're Will Patton, sir.
Oh boy,
Right now it's 4 to 1 to 1 to 1.
who's for?
If you're going to make Lautner, so if you're going to make it a race,
All right. Well,
now's the time.
I hate. No, I'm gonna pick what I want to pick. I don't like peer pressure from anybody.
wow.
Well, what if I tell you to go with what your heart says? I'm telling you to.
Yeah,
now,
I'm
what are you
pressuring
going to do?
you to do
what are
you
you going
want,
to
Joe. Now what?
That's it. Intensity. I'm actually gonna have to give it. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to give it to Kristen Stewart. Wow. I think now. Don't get me wrong, dude. I like Jasper. His intensity. But I'm gonna pick Jasper. I remember something else.
Okay. Sure, fine.
I
totally
think she pulled off one of the worst females next to Jenny from Forrest Gump ever on screen.
Wow.
So whether you think that she did good or what, I thought I genuinely hated her character, and I think her intensity brought it out.
Okie dokie. Tom Caldwell, it's fine, says Graham Greene. I'm not sure he has seen a script he doesn't like, but you know what? He's going to bring it to 11 every time. That's our first vote for Graham Greene. And then we also have Josh Whitehouse coming in here, and he says he's giving it to Spencer as Sam.
Okay.
From showing up with Bella in his arms with nothing but shorts and a scowl to the number he did on his fiance's face. He's mine and yours most intense pack leader. At this point, there's only my vote and Sean's wife's vote left, so it's pretty much over. But I am 100% going Dakota Fanning with my vote.
I get it.
I was afraid of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In the few minutes of screen time she had, I'm like, she should have been the main vampire.
Yeah.
She should be Victoria. She should be whoever's chasing the
Almost
main
out of
person.
place.
Almost out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Good
was
pick.
that good.
Good pick.
Sean McHugh's wife comes in and says, Michael Sheen, he gave so much life in the few scenes that he had. I don't disagree with that at all. But that means that for this one, Taylor Lautner, and I will say his scene with Bella when he told her to go away was very in the rain. It was very good. He's going to win the Will Patton Award. So congrats to Taylor Lautner.
Good hugger.
Does he still do a lot of things?
Not a lot. He's kind of fizzled out. I mean,
No,
he's done
Taylor
stuff here and
Swift
there.
did him in.
Oh, that's true.
Aww.
So sad.
Yeah.
The next award we give out is to who gave Again, remember, it's the worst acting performance in the movie. So not the character you hated the most and not the one that was the most useless or underutilized, but the worst performance in the movie. It's the Steven Seagal Trash Can Full of Dirt Award.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt. Yeah.
Love never dies.
You think I remember that?
Neither does
Yes.
Love is eternal.
That's a long time.
All right.
It's been like a year and a half.
I still want
Maybe
you to
more
do
than
it.
that.
Maybe more.
Every time.
You got a gray hair there. You're so old.
Oh. No. That's shots.
No.
Shots
She
are being
actually doesn't
made.
celebrate birthdays anymore. So
Sorry.
Right?
Guys.
Vampires.
whatever. Don't tell anybody.
Right?
All right, trash can for Neil Culver goes to Taylor Lautner. This was really hard because everyone gave pretty good. I nearly gave it to Edward, but Taylor's performance is trying too hard to be like a puppy. You get it? He's always bouncing whenever Bella is around and is combative around Edward. After the third time, it just got annoying. Then he becomes a wolf and he just gets emo like everyone else. Plus, he's rocking the Seagal hairdo for half the flick, which doesn't do him any favors. So that's a vote for Taylor Lautner, which I did not expect. But Jenna, who's the worst actor in the movie?
I'm going to say Robert Pattinson.
Whoa!
No.
For real?
Yeah. It's not even about the fact that obviously Jacob's way better. But I mean, he wasn't in this movie as much as he was in the first one, but I just didn't really like his performance this time.
All right.
I don't know.
That's fair. Matt Masick says there's no shortage choices. For the first movie, I nominated Kristen Stewart. Special shout out to Taylor Lautner. But Kristen Stewart wins again.
Wow.
She's terrible.
Yeah.
This scene where Edward tells her he's leaving and doesn't want her to come, she couldn't show emotion to save her life. I never believed she was upset. She tried to force herself to cry like your children do when you tell them no. She also totally no-sold giant wolves. She really did. She gets this award simply for how she treated that pizza. Who throws a slice of pizza? Special shout out to the guy in the Face Punch movie you don't see, but his line reading sucked. Yeah, I kind of still want to see that movie though. But Kristen Stewart. So again, we've got 3 votes, 3 different people as we head over to Nicole.
Mine goes for like the actual character that could have just been a trash can full of dirt is Chet, the guy in the motorcycle.
Yes.
Because there was zero chemistry with him. I guess you were supposed to think that she just wanted to be sitting on the motorcycle.
Right.
But it wasn't even, they didn't pick anyone that had chemistry, so I didn't understand. Plus, he was just being grossly defensive toward her.
It felt weird. I agree.
So I didn't know if, I will always say maybe he was doing what the director wanted, but ugh, no thank
Okay,
you.
you're going with biker guy.
Chet.
Awesome pick there. That's not a wrong choice at all. Yeah. Josh Bowman says, I'm giving this award to the greatest and 100% with no need for fact checking. Oh, I already did that one. Sadly, because he tries his hardest doesn't mean it always lands. Taylor Lautner is also my pick for the trash can full of dirt. The guy just couldn't act at this stage in life. Watching him try his best to be intense was like watching one of those videos of people trying to push a beached whale back into the ocean. So hopeful that it would work out, but in the end, a stinker. Hey, at least he was trying. That's 2 votes. He's leading right now.
He did something.
With 2 votes. Taylor Lautner. Lauren, who's your trash can?
Kristen Stewart, hands down.
Oh, it's tie game now. 2-2. Not a fan?
I don't think she's a good actress in general, but this role, like, unfortunately, I think it was the writing, and it could have been played by anyone. So she wasn't notable at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's not wrong.
Does it get better?
I don't know.
Or is that because you wanted to be her and like in her place when you were young?
Were you jealous?
Yeah, but she still sucked.
Okay, great. Great. Just want to clear that up.
Well, she's about to take the lead because Craig Soto also said Kristen Stewart. You can tell that she did mature in her acting ability since the last movie, but this one still, I do not find her believable, and her mannerisms stick out way too much. A lot of it seemed forced and faked. She's just not really believable. So it's now 3-2 against Taylor Lautner.
Yep.
Joe, who's your trash can?
Well, if I can nominate the CGI Santa with muscles, Hulk Hogan, that would be my 100% nomination for.
But your backup pick though.
My backup pick is my runner-up would be the CGI Wolves.
Got it.
Okay, but I'm gonna go. I don't know his name. I don't know what to look up.
No, it's fine.
And he had a small part, but I'm gonna be really obscure. He's part of the Cullen family, right?
Yeah.
Cullen? He was just that one guy.
Emmett,
Is it Emmett?
the like Rosalie's
The jock
guy,
one?
What?
Rosalie's guy.
Yeah.
Emmett.
Jock.
The jock kind of dude?
Yep. Yeah, that's Emmett.
That guy. That guy just
That guy.
every scene he had to say something. I was like, Shut up.
Like twice.
He also picked up Bella at one point and spun her around. It was
Yes.
so weird.
That was weird. That was at the end.
You are a trash can.
All
Your
right.
acting, your makeup,
That's
your
valid.
stupid. He's an idiot. I don't
valid.
like him. I mean,
That's
I'm not talking about like. I'm talking about just again acting. He gets it.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, look. So the trash can here from Tom Caldwell is Robert Pattinson. I'm glad his career blossomed the way it did because you'd have no idea of his range with this movie. I know his character is supposed to be lifeless, but god damn.
He's soulless.
So that's 2 for Lautner, 2 for Pattinson, and 3 for Stewart. So it's still anybody's game. And
I
it's
would
the
have picked
main
makeup artist if I
3.
could, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Josh Whitehouse says Kristen Stewart. Now I get it.
Pulling ahead.
She's directed to act out the character from the book and be this torn apart teenage girl. But come on, give some kind of acting, not just laying and screaming and moping with no sense of real sadness portrayed. Wow. All right. At this point, it might be over.
But I want to hear yours, James,
Yeah.
because your picks are always, I think, the most important.
It's Kristen Stewart. I'm going chalk all the way on this
Lob
one.
that one up for you.
Yeah, thank you. That's why it's over. But Sean McHugh's wife comes in and says that he's giving it to Jamie Bauer. What on earth happened during this? He is a great actor. I've seen him in amazing roles. For some reason, he is absolutely absent in this role. He was the other fancy vampire. There was the one that was like, can we get on with this?
Yeah.
And then the other blonde fancy vampire. That
Yeah,
just sat
I
up there.
recognized him.
Yeah. So that means that, again, I think this is for the second episode in a row. Kristen Stewart is going to win. She gets 3 more tries. 3 more.
2. Oh, are you doing the part 1 and part 2?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to. So we got to. We're contractually
We need to
obligated.
stretch it out for
100%.
Joe's sake.
So for Joe, we got to make him do all 5.
Hate you
If we
all.
don't hit our goal. If we hit our goal, then we don't have to do it.
Right. That's true.
So, all right. So here's where it gets interesting because we've split the Unsung Hero Award into 2 awards now going forward. Because there's been some confusion about how much is somebody in a movie for it to not be okay. The Steve James Award will now simply be for the best supporting actor or actress in the movie. Just not the leads. That's it.
Okay.
Yep. And then, but because I still want to celebrate actors that have very small parts that still give it their go and don't be like, oh, I just got a tiny part. 1 scene, 2 scenes max for the Unsung Hero Award.
Okay.
So there'll be the Steve James Award for Best Supporting Actor. The Unsung Hero Award is for the person that had 1 max 2 scenes, and that's how the awards are going to get split up.
Okay, I'm
Makes
confused.
sense.
I'm confused.
All right.
Wait, so
The Best Supporting Actor is just the best actor in the movie that wasn't
Main character.
Edward, Jacob, or Bella,
correct. I would say those would be the 3.
and then the unsung
Hero
is a
Award
smaller,
for someone that
smaller.
had like 1 scene in the movie
Okay.
and did really
so
good.
small and then small.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. There you go.
You should have just said small and small.
No, because that's how my brain works. So
No, you're good. And so some of the people that sent in knew about the change, some didn't. So we'll see some variations here. But the Steve James Unsung Hero Award from Neil Caulford is Billy Burke, easiest choice ever.
Yep.
He'll forever be the best part of these movies. He's trying his best with a kid who's going through some stuff like every parent does, while also being the law in this small town with lots of missing people. And that mustache is still miraculous.
Double whammy.
Team Mustache Dad. All right, Billy Burke is the first choice. That's Charlie. Jenna, who's your pick for the best supporting actor?
Billy Burke.
Billy Burke. I never
Yeah.
played the song. Oh, well, no song this time.
I love
But
Charlie.
Billy Burke is going to win.
He's actually like, even just with the opening scene where he's giving her her birthday gifts and stuff, he plays it so well. It's so believable, and then she just ruins it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Matt Masick says, Michael Sheen. Dude is an amazing actor, and I love everything he's in. He was so good in Underworld. I've still never seen that. And I was excited when he popped up briefly at the beginning and then his scene towards the end when Bella saves Edwards from revealing himself. So, all right, that's 2 votes so far for Charlie, but we got a vote here for Michael Sheen's character. Nicole, who you got?
This is so hard because sometimes there are people who do a fantastic job, but then it takes me out of the film. So I thought Dakota Fanning did fantastically, but I actually was like, she kind of doesn't belong in there. That's just, I was taken out a little bit because she seemed different.
Yeah.
Similarly, Anna Kendrick was only in a couple things, and she was this dose of actual reality, but her being in it made Bella and Edward look ridiculous to me. Yeah. So is that because she did well or because of the casting? I'm having a hard time.
I got you.
With it. And all that said, I think it's Bella's dad. The end.
Charlie is the best supporting actor in the movie. I love that pick. Josh Bowman says that Michael Sheen is the clear choice here. The guy's just shining light in this franchise and definitely the most talented actor out of all the cast. Normally I would nominate Taylor Zabs, but I couldn't find an IMDb credit for that. Yeah, no, that's all right, Josh. No worries there, bud. Lauren, who is just out of the, not the main three people, who was the best actor in the movie?
Billy Burke.
Another Charlie. Man, this one's getting run away with here. You love Charlie.
The right choice.
I think he won last time, too.
I think he probably did. Craig Soto says that it's this has to go to Billy Burke as Charlie.
Wow.
Plays such a good dad in the movie, and I wish we can get more screen time for him. This is a foregone conclusion at this point. Joe?
Okay. It's not Billy Burke.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you one way, just real quick. Why? Because he's a horrible cop. His daughter's missing.
Yeah.
Some guy, a guy walks out of the woods, shirtless, shorts, no shoes, carrying his daughter, and he doesn't ask any questions.
Is that his fault, though?
What's going on?
Is that the writing, though?
I don't care. He's a bad cop. I'm not going with him.
She went to Italy.
But she wrote a note.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Jasper. Jasper's my boy.
All right.
I like him. I like him a lot. I like everything. I like his intensity.
I love it.
I like the little every time he was on screen, I loved it.
I love it, man. Tom Caldwell gives it to Billy Burke, although he might not have been the best father. Like Joe just said, I can tell this character also knew that which sold one of the few believable characters.
Yep.
So that good call there. And then Josh Whitehouse went Michael Sheen as Aro. Hell yes, this guy can act and single-handedly save this movie for one scene. Give me a movie just about him. I would have been there opening night.
Woo.
Wow. Awesome. All right. And then, look, I'm going, if this is just best supporting actor in the movie, I'm going to go with Billy Burke as well. I think every time he showed up, I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just happy that you're here. But,
Just effortlessness.
yeah, exactly. So Sean McHugh's wife went with Billy Burke as Charlie Swan. That sass is comedy gold, which kind of seals it at this point. Billy Burke again is going to win the Steve James Best Supporting Actor Award.
I guess.
But now we get to have the fun of finding an actor that had a tiny part, that literally showed up for 2 days on set, maybe a day on set, and was like, you know what? I got 4 lines. I'm going to sell the crap out of this, and did a great job. Who is the unsung hero of the movie? And right off the bat here, Matt Masick comes in and says, Dakota Fanning. She played the crazy girl who liked to hurt people real well. I actually forgot she was in this movie until she popped up, and almost gave her the Will Patton for that scene alone. Hey, that's what I did. So, Jenna, somebody that was barely in the movie.
Can I say Anna Kendrick?
Yeah, I think she was in 2 scenes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, when she was walking out of the movie theater with Bella, it's just the comparison of her acting skills to Kristen is just
Oh my God.
that scene made me realize how bad of an actor she is in this movie is compared to Anna Kendrick.
She blew her out of the water.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Right, with a throwaway nothing part. Yeah.
Just talking about like ranting and just random stuff. Yeah.
100%. That's such a good call. Josh Bowman says that I'd pay full ticket admission just to watch an hour of Daniel Cudmore's Felix chokeslam Edward. This is the only reason he gets my vote. So he was in the one scene. Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for with this award. Felix the chokeslamming vampire gets a vote.
Yep.
I love that.
Good. I like
Nicole.
So as we were thinking about how good Bella's dad is at not being distracting, I want to point out no one's once spoken about the surgeon, doctor, father of the vampires, because we weren't distracted by him. He did great though, but he didn't stick out because of his greatness. Right. So again, I have a trio that I am deciding between. I'll let you all in my brain. I'll just open the flip-top
he was only
head.
in that one scene because he was in it a lot more in the first one.
Yeah.
The dad, but he only had the one scene with her.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't like stick out to me as this amazing, the acting was so great.
Yeah.
So is it Dakota? Is it Anna? Or is it Dr. Vampire Man?
I can't answer that without giving away my vote.
Right. So welcome into my head.
Yeah.
What if I wait till the end and maybe I'm like,
let's do it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks.
No problem at all. Craig Soto says, I'm going to give this to Eddie Gathagi as Laurent. He is such a cool character and plays a vampire so well. When he was fishing information from Bella and then contemplating whether or not to kill her, Great job on that scene. It was a shame that the werewolf pack killed him. That whole scene was pretty cool where we finally see the werewolves. That's another guy that was in one scene. Yeah, you're right. But I think at this point, still, the only person, has anybody have 2 votes yet? I don't think anybody has 2 votes yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, Lauren, it's still anybody's game.
No, about to be 2 with Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick gets a second.
And same
vote.
thing with what Jenna said. Like when she came out of the movie theater, I was like, oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Thomas Caldwell gives it to Dakota Fanning. I think that's the second vote.
2-2,
right?
yeah.
2-2. The only visibly believable evil vampire. Her eyes were definitely creepy.
Yep.
She's great. That's why when she played that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where her only scene was to stand at the screen door and go back and forth with Brad Pitt. And even in that, she was
Amazing.
intense as hell.
Yeah.
Joe.
I'm gonna go with Graham Greene. That man. Every time he plays a small little role, but I love him. I love his career. When he was like,
I like him in Maverick.
I love him in Maverick. I loved him when he was like, he was going out to the woods and he's like, "Don't worry, I know my kung fu."
That's right. That's
I was
right.
like, you had me sold.
No, he was
Sold.
good in this. We didn't really even get a chance to really mention him. Yeah.
So.
No, that's a good pick. Josh Whitehouse says Michael Sheen as Arrow again. I don't care. We're going with him again. He stole the show and gave an incredibly, extremely limited amount of time, all-time performance that outshines every other actor in the movie. It's still 2-2, I think, right?
Yeah,
Between
Dakota
those two.
Fanning
I'm
and
100% going Dakota Fanning.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave her my Will Patton vote, and she was in one scene, so you knew this is where I was going to go.
Yeah.
She killed
Predictable,
it.
James.
She did. Like a werewolf. She kind of just pissed all over her scene, was like, this scene is mine.
Mine, thank you.
Mine, thank you
Just
very much.
dry humped the
all
scene.
these other great actors, and she was like, no, I'm sorry, this is my scene. I love that crap when that kind of stuff happens. And then Sean McHugh's wife comes in and says, Emily, she brings a soft and warm feel to the movie when we are learning about the pack. And that was a one scene. Yeah, the fiance.
The scratch cross.
I did like her.
So
the muffin lady.
it's 3-2 and a bunch of ones, Nicole.
Yeah. So I will abandon the surgeon, Dr. Man, with
Like
which
a
she was
surgeon.
like slow dancing while he was stitching her. If it is unsung because I did so well, I will say there was much more for Dakota Fanning to do.
Yeah.
And she did it well.
Oh, I like it. That was a good one.
Dakota Fanning wins the Unsung Hero Award. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And now, y'all, the time has come. And please, as part of your final ratings, update us on what your new team is. Team Edward, Team Jacob, after
Yes.
New Moon, please.
Yes.
It's got to be part of
Or
this.
do you have a third team?
Yeah,
Let
maybe.
us know.
I'm sure. We'll kick things started here with our final ratings with Neil Calford, who says, bad movie that rules. Don't get me wrong. This whole film series is like your dog dragging his ass all over your new weighted blanket. Jeez. Knowing full well you got to throw that sucker in the trash and buy a new one. But this one is better than the first. The acting's better. Emotions are there. It looks better. Story still sucks, though. And is the movie actually suggesting that vampire sparkles make flowers grow? And that's a good point. And turning into a wolf is the same as Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk? What a joke. Thank you for letting me be the alternate. And now the alternate, you're in here, buddy. Let me have fun with you guys. This show is one of the highlights of my week. Thanks, Bobcat. All right. Jenna, you have the floor.
Okay.
Tell me your feelings on this movie.
I mean, it's a bad movie. Like, let's be for real, obviously. And I was having a hard time with this, but as I was thinking, I'm like, it works though. Like the whole thing where it makes your emotions go up and down. At least for me, it works, and I do actually care about whether or not she picks Edward and Jacob. I know that's sad to say that's what I care about, but yeah. So I'm gonna say bad movie that rules. Can you guys guess which team I'm on?
Team Jacob.
Yeah.
100%.
Team Jacob.
I wonder if that'll ever change as we
We'll
go
see.
through this. We'll see. I love it. All right, Matt Masick slide in here, and he says, this movie has its moments, more so than the first. I actually really enjoyed the werewolves in this and how they were depicted much more than the stupid, sparkly vampires. It's an improvement on the first, which I said is a bad movie. New Moon is a bad movie that rules for me. I enjoyed this one far more. My wife says bad movie that rules as well, and then asks why I continue to subject her to these damn movies. Well, Matt, tell her it's our fault, buddy.
Yep.
Sorry.
We're sorry, man.
Blame Jenna.
Please blame Jenna.
Blame Joe.
Yeah, it's her
Come on.
fault.
No.
Yeah.
Please. So 3 in a
Be
row.
for real.
Bad movie that rules.
Yep.
Nicole, your feelings on this movie?
Well, I'm a pretty emotional person in general, but for this, I did not ride the tide of caring how anyone did at all. But it's me. I don't know what it was. There was no spell on me. I believe this film is simply a bad movie.
Wow.
Full
So
stop.
you didn't care
That's
about
what you said about the first one too.
Did I?
Yeah.
pick me, don't pick me.
No.
You didn't care about any of that.
No, but maybe I'm just not the right demographic. I'm not the
No.
right target.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm certainly not.
Right. So from my own
You love
personal perspective, no thank you.
You'll pass.
So when they slide Twilight at Thanksgiving dinner over to you, you just go, no thanks.
No
Al."
thanks.
I've had enough.
I've got all the sparkles I need.
Right. I'll just take more Need for Speed, please.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Need for Speed or Twilight?
Mashed potatoes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Josh Bowman comes in and says the hardest thing about the Twilight franchise is that everything but the script and acting is done well. Oh, just the script and acting.
yeah.
Just those two things.
Yep.
These are a joy to look at, and the effects are never that bad. Pardon my food analogy, but it's like going to a gorgeous buffet. We just made a food analogy.
Delicious.
And seeing all the different dishes glistening and sparkling underneath a spotlight, and then realizing nobody turned the heaters on. So all the food is lukewarm. Nevertheless,
Nice.
I will watch these films for the rest of my life.
Wow.
As someone who read the books, they are not too far off from the vibes they tried to create. Bad movie that rules. P.S. Please let me be on every single one of these. Oh, Josh, great job there, man.
Well done.
Careful what you wish for.
So 4 BMRs, 1 bad straight up. As we head over to Lauren. Lauren, you have the floor. What are your feelings on this movie?
Bad movie that rules.
Wow.
This is probably the 4th time Ryan and I have seen them like together all the way through. Because Ryan we're the same age. So this was a thing. I believe he read the books. He's actually pretty into vampire stuff. Like more than me.
Wow. Just outed him.
I did.
Get to roast him about that later.
Yep.
Thank you.
And
for that.
definitely
Vampires are
Team
cool.
Edward.
Team Edward.
Yep.
Wow. Still.
Oh yeah.
Nicole,
we-
you forgot to update
Yeah,
us.
you forgot to give us.
Oh, Jacob.
Yep.
Team Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 Jacobs and an Edward. So nothing's changed since the beginning of the episode.
No, I guess not.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lauren. Let's see who's next up on here. Craig Soto says, the drama that takes place in this movie is exhausting. Any scene where there wasn't fighting resorted back to, Bella, will you date me? Bella, will you be with me? Why can't we be together, Bella? I don't know what Bella has done to these men to make her wanted so bad. It's so annoying. She's not a good character. She's addicted to love triangles and men who don't want her because they're trying to protect her.
White
Just
Knight syndrome.
Preach, Craig. With that said, surprisingly, the pacing was decent, except for the end when it felt rushed. I really enjoyed the lore of the werewolves and the vampires and some of the things we saw there. The Voltaire, Alice's hatred of werewolves. Jacob using the treaty as a way to try and stop Bella from being with the Cullens was interesting. I'm so surprised to say this, but I think this movie was better than the first one. The first one was dog trash awful. I think I'm going to have to say a bad movie that barely rules. I just need more vampire and werewolf fight scenes. Oh my gosh.
He explained that perfectly.
He
literally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and Craig, thanks. I always appreciate, we don't have time to read the notes on here, but I always appreciate you leaving them in here, man. Thank you for that as well. Joe, your thoughts on Twilight, New Moon.
Oh man.
I love when it's
Okay.
Joe's turn.
Okay. You guys are. I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball like you've never seen before. Oh boy. So it is subjectively.
Well,
and-
objectively, and then
objectively, and then subjectively.
Yeah.
Okay.
The subject part is your feelings.
Okay, so I'll start. I'll just say it. This is gonna be so weird. God help me. It is a good movie that's bad.
Oh, good movie that sucks.
Good movie that sucks. That's my thought. Why? Even though I hated it, my wife,
Breathe, Joe. Breathe.
she asked
Breathe.
me. She asked me what I wanted from Subway. I got off on a tangent and I went ranting about Bella. And all of a sudden I stopped and she goes, "So you don't want Subway?" The movie was made for a purpose. was made for a demographic, and it nailed its purpose. It nailed its demographic by proof of the millions that it brought in, and by the subsequent movies that it made. So for that reason, it's not bad to look at. It's got the writing is just, but that's what it wanted to be. It's not what I liked, but that's what it wanted to be, and I think it did it. Therefore, it's a good movie. But I hate it because it keeps somehow pulling me in.
He's mad. He's mad that he's there.
I cannot believe you went on a tangent about Bella. That's amazing.
Bella is the worst.
That's awesome.
She is.
So
Jenny from Forrest Gump has her taking her for a run. Man, I swear.
100%.
Yeah.
I gave her every
Team Jacob.
benefit of every. Oh, Team Jacob.
Team Jacob.
There, well, look at that.
I changed.
He switched
Nice.
sides.
Wow.
Yep. I hate Edward.
Will Lauren be the only one?
No,
We'll see.
because you're about to change back.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Oh,
Don't
no.
root for me. Don't root
Tom
I've
C.
been Team Jacob day one.
Tom C. from Fort Myers, Florida, finishes his award. Says, I watched this years ago with my wife and initially thought it was pretty bad. I decided to give it another shot of some 14 years, and I can honestly say that I may actually think it's worse. From the cringeworthy and toxic love triangle where the choices are a dude who is constantly shirtless and another who can't resist saying how he's 100 years old, to the pompadour sporting East India spice trading vampire council.
Nice.
I can't speak for the books. I didn't read those. This is strictly on the film and its screenplay. It was a tough rewatch that I can't say was enjoyable. Straight up bad movie from Tom C. Way to plant your flag there, Tom.
Yeah.
And Josh Whitehouse. This movie was so freaking hard to get through. Holy crap. That scene with the guys up on the cliff was some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. Yep. And,
Worse than the wolves.
had to get that out of the way. Acting was crap except for a few actors. Writing was crap, but the werewolves looked great, and everything with the Volturi saved it from being a bad movie, full stop. Instead, bad movie that rules. Thanks, everyone. Throws in his Hot Babe Award for Ashley Greene as Alice.
All right, fine.
Wow. And then Sean's wife. Good movie straight up.
Didn't see that one coming.
There was intent, and the shots were well thought out. How they framed the depression scene stood out because if you had ever had depression, that feeling is very real of the numbness and the world just spinning around you. The soundtrack is killer too. See, there you go, Lauren. I feel like with some, the not so well received first movie tainted the rest of the franchise. That saddens me. However, I hope with a new mindset, more people are able to enjoy the movie. So she loves this movie. I love that you love this movie.
Me too. Enjoy.
Enjoy what you enjoy. I did not. Oh my gosh, this movie sucks so bad. And there's more than a few people like, I thought it was better. I thought it was worse than the first one. And the first one's terrible, but at least it was like bad in a fun way. This wasn't even like fun bad. How many times did I pause it and go, this has got to almost be over? There's 2/3 of it left.
Yeah.
So you stopped it at 40 minutes. You were like, oh my God.
3 minutes? Is this over yet?
Stopped in an hour. Oh my God.
Yes,
And then just
seriously.
like every 30 minutes, you just kept
It
stopping
was a slog. Jenna was like, we can watch the rest of it tomorrow. I'm like, no, we're going to finish it.
You gotta do it tonight.
Band-Aid off
That's
altogether.
right. All at once. It sucked. She's the worst main character. It's not Kristen's fault even. It's how it's written.
Yes.
She sucks. That she's her behavior in these relationships is toxic. It's terrible that a bunch of young people went and saw this and thought, well, this is what I ought to do. These are the kind of relationships I ought to
Healthy.
look for and strive for. Super healthy stuff. It's trash. And in the very description of trash cinema, it's trash. Sorry. I know that you love it over there.
The books were so good. The books
I'm
were
sure they
so
were.
well written. Like, honestly, the acting could have sucked across the board
Yeah.
and they still would have made the money.
And that always happens. The book is always better.
Right.
Like for anything.
But I mean, everyone, like when I was in high school, everyone was reading this. These were like Harry Potter.
I have no
Yes.
doubt. I have no doubt that
Yes.
there's and great that we even discovered a couple people here that enjoy it. Don't take what I'm saying as an insult. This is only my personal opinion about this movie. And my personal opinion is that if I ever have to watch this again, it's because I've been strapped down like Clockwork Orange style and my eyeballs held open because death first, okay, before I ever turn on Twilight, A New Moon again.
Stop being so dramatic.
What if someone
James.
changes
Good
you?
Lord.
That's the truth.
Oh, come
That's the
on.
truth.
It's not that
Okay,
bad.
so you're saying bad movie, full stop. Is that what you're saying?
Bad movie, full stop.
Here's the thing, okay? You care about Bella, Edward, and Jacob. You care, and you cannot sit here and say that you don't care because you
Yeah.
were sitting there and you were invested. I saw it.
So
So you can't
So
say
there's a hint.
that doesn't mean I think it's good.
no, but you can't say
I
like
cared who was who. I cared who was with you. I was like, oh come on, oh Bella, Jacob is.
you can't just say this movie's trash and that's it because you cared.
It's trash.
Stick it to him, Jenna. Stick it to him.
Trash because of Bella and her horrible decision making. If she had just gone with Jacob and done the right thing and been with the person that clearly loved her so much and wanted to be with her and would have taken care of her every single day, but instead she picked Edward, and so this is a terrible movie that I'll never watch again.
Woo!
You want to hug it out?
I might have.
See, and you needed to
Appreciate
let that out, so I'm glad that
you.
you were being honest.
Yeah.
As far as team,
She should have stayed home with mom.
can
None of this would have happened.
I pick Team Alice? Is that a choice? Because I'm Team Alice.
There it is.
Team Dakota Fanning.
Team Alice. That's the Cullen I want to hang out with. No, actually, she knows everything that's going to happen. Never mind. Team Jacob.
Yeah.
Team Jacob. We're all off Team Edward. I'm sorry.
The only way I'd be Team Jacob is if Arnold came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Is it
And,
because you don't find him attractive, or what is
I
it?
think Taylor Lautner is the pretty boy that's overrated, and I can't stand him.
All right. Fair enough.
And the jean shorts looks like he's 5 years old and belongs in Boy Scouts. Like, can he wear some like actual like cool looking jeans? But no, it's like jean shorts.
I hope she
to
never
the
meets
knee.
Benny.
Like,
Shorts.
They're called shorts.
Never.
She would not like Benny.
All
I
right,
think it's because
well,
he's nice. That's why.
we are going to move on
I love you, Benny.
to greener pastures. Okay. And
Sparklier pastures.
golden pastures, because we are talking about a Greek mythology movie where the whole movie looks like it's been spray painted gold. From when I watched the trailer, it's a Henry Cavill, Mickey Rourke film called Immortals.
Oh my gosh.
From like 2011.
Haven't seen
it. So get on, your gold spandex and your gold spray painted armor from
They're
Willow.
already wearing it
Yeah.
if they're listening.
This is going to be a fun time. Just want to say thank you, Nicole, Jenna. Thank you. I can't wait for the next Twilight with Joe. Lauren,
So
you're
excited.
welcome to come back next time we do.
Yep.
well, I'll be here.
It was lovely having you here.
Is Eclipse the next one? I think Eclipse is the next one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I love it because none of us have seen the rest of the movies, right?
No, she's the only
She
one.
knows what's
Yeah.
coming.
She knows.
Books and movies. I'll be here.
All right. Perfect. Well, we will see you on that one. Take care, guys. Thanks for listening. And make sure you guys go and sign up for our Patrons. We can hit 1,000
We need ya.
before May
Yep.
19th.
Come on.
They never told us what happened to the old moon. I just realized this the whole time.
The motorcycles played almost no role in the entire movie.
Bella, where have you been, Loca?
Where is the old moon? Oh, what did Bella do with the moon?
Did you say that was a rush? Wow.
Bella, stop.
She runs red lights.
She's concussed. Check her pupils.
She's sticking her hand in a blender. Bella, stop. Don't do it.
I'm going to eat 4 warheads at once.
She's gonna bench without a spotter.
Bella,
Bella, please.
that's dangerous.